Go.
Yeah, we should be live. I don't know if it'll pick up you saying go, but we should be live.
Oh. That was someone else's motorcycle.
Oh, that was my bad. That car was so fucking loud we heard it 7 floors up.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wait. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Despite the tired, we will finish Lily's
Lily's
route.
Oh god.
Sorry,
oh god,
I was
it's
munching on
already
something.
bad.
But yes. Hurry, Lily!
I will
I'm
stay.
moving as fast as I can.
We should have inserted this way.
I can barely make out Lily's voice over the deafening pounding of the rain. Even though I dislike pulling her around, the situation calls for it. I turn forward, my free hand over my head in a futile attempt to keep at least my hair dry. My vision seems to be in grayscale. This really is rotten weather for summer, and the last kind of climate I'd want for a date.
Oh, hold on. I remembered pumpkin.
Yo,
Whoa.
I don't think we have to mark that on the video.
I mean, technically, we failed to invite Pumpkin before the start of the stream.
Does it have to be before? Like I usually, when I send out reminders about Persona streams, it's usually just slightly after. Like I remembered within 2 minutes. I don't know, maybe
we'll
when
give it to you.
maybe if and when CD shows up, we'll ask him. We'll ask him what the technicality is.
Leo, you usually send me invites to your Persona streams before they happen.
No, I send them immediately after.
Oh, weird. Because often I'll get a message and then it'll pop up on my feed on Twitch and then...
Yeah, it doesn't. The Twitch notification is never immediate. It always takes a sec.
I see.
Yes.
I'm gonna be muting and unmuting because I'm snacking on something, so don't mind me.
Imagine if you had these ambient crinkle noises in the game.
A pity. I'd even check the weather forecast beforehand. One of the very few times I've ever done so. Only for it to say that Sunday afternoon would be fine. Looking to Lilly. Her shoulders are by now completely drenched, with her right hand holding tightly to mine and her left gripping her retracted cane. This horrid downpour came on just as we were between our destination and Yamaku, so we decided to try rushing the rest of the distance rather than doubling back. Entirely unused. Entirely unused to running this fast, Lily's using all her concentration just to avoid tripping over.
God, I don't even remember what it is, but I distinctly remember this anime clip of... I think it's an anime clip, at the very least, of a main... Oh! I just remembered what it's from! It's from Mirai Nikki! Oh my god. There's a blind girl in one of the first few episodes who the sort of romantic rival is super jealous of. And so when they're running to escape something, she keeps taking corners super sharply and forcing her to run into walls.
Oh no.
It's really bad.
What even is Mirai Nikki?
Bad!
You
Don't watch
wanna
Mirai
know.
Nikki. Unless you're hate watching it, then it's okay.
I think
And
it's somewhere in the Bible that you really shouldn't watch Mirai Nikki.
I
So
also
don't steal
get
from your
to,
neighbor, don't murder, and don't watch Mirai Nikki.
I also
Was it really that bad?
Mirai
I don't
Nikki.
remember it being that
No.
horrible.
It's just really insane.
It is insane. It's absolutely insane.
It also has
It's one
a
of those
wet
things that
fucking
only-
rag of a protagonist.
Yeah.
I don't hate him as much as Kazuya, but I still do not like him. I also got to
Kazuya-
mark off Leo's extensive anime insight on the bingo square super early today.
Mirai Nikki defined a lot of annoying people's personalities back in the day.
Yeah, it really did.
An anti... What the fuck are we playing? An anti... This game. What is it called?
Katawa Shoujo.
That's what it is. It's a
Yeah.
reverse version of that.
Hisao, do you know where we're going?
Even she's reduced to shouting to try and be heard over the combined noise of the wind and the rain.
The shit.
The rest of my voice is completely drowned out by an even heavier burst of rain.
Yeah, CD, you don't even, like, we were literally just talking about how weird the Twitch notification system is. Unless that was what you walked in on and you just sent that big message. But we were just talking about that.
Wait a second, are they both gonna be blind here? I'm talking, but like, okay, but hear me out. Even Lilly is blind. I mean, from the rest of her senses.
What?
Like, okay, so Hisao can't see
okay.
because of all the
Back
rain.
up and make the joke from the beginning.
There was no joke.
It's a prediction. Sorry.
It's a prediction, yeah. Like, okay.
Are
Hisao
they
can't
both
see because
going
of
to
how
be
much
blind
rain.
here?
Yeah, he can't see how much because there's rain, and they both can't hear either.
Yeah, and so, and
Oh,
and
okay.
here, yeah. So they're both blind, even though Lilly is blind already. Just blind to more sense. You know what I mean?
Sense
Yeah.
deprived.
Yeah, something like that.
The what?
The Shanghai.
How far is it?
It shouldn't be far now.
Nah, it's not a big deal. Never fucking mind.
Far later.
I'm sorry, Priest.
They could have
I'm
had
sorry.
a moment there, and they didn't take it.
It doesn't
No,
take
it would
long.
have been cool. It just I didn't think that was where that we're going with that.
Yeah. What?
That is, however,
Moving on.
probably where they were going with that H scene from last stream.
Yeah, most definitely. It doesn't take long before I call out to him once again.
It looks like we're safe. It's just up ahead.
Trips and dies.
He would.
I quickly pull up to a stop just in front of this familiar exterior. The lantern outside still giving off its reliable glow, and wait for Lilly to catch her breath before going in.
Ladies first,
Did you?
he says
Okay.
casually after dragging her.
The tiny bell inside rings out when I hold the door open for her. A smile and a polite nod being my reward before entering myself.
Oh, CD. By the way, before we move on, I remembered to message Pumpkin within a minute and 30 seconds of the stream starting. Trips. I'm alright. Gets struck by lightning. I'm alright. Heart attack. Dies. Thank you for that one, CD. And that is our daily heart attack joke quota. But yeah, if I messaged Pumpkin within a minute and 30 seconds, do I have to mark off I forgot Pumpkin, or am I safe?
No.
I think you
That
did
almost seems safe.
forget Pumpkin, but you just reminded yourself, so I'd vote yes.
What constitutes as forgetting Pumpkin?
Well, if you text people at the start of the stream, then if you didn't text Pumpkin then you forgot.
What constitutes as the start of the stream?
The start of the stream. From the moment you hit that record button. From the
Yeah, but I
moment you hit the
usually
juju
text
on that
people to
beat.
remind them after the stream starts, as I was saying earlier.
Shane.
I don't know. CD also
Be
voted
not
yes,
fair.
so I'll take the L and mark off we forgot Pumpkin.
Classic Leo. I mean, it's better that you're getting closer, but
I'm getting closer to getting it on time.
He was gonna like text Pumpkin the day before next time and be like, "See, I didn't forget."
I feel like if we start the dialogue in specifically Katawa Shoujo before you send Pumpkin a message, I think that constitutes
I am
as
willing
forgetting.
to accept that. Also, yes, we got raindrops and puddles, CD.
Drip drop.
Drip drop, give me what you got.
As I step in behind her and wipe my feet, only a quick glance is necessary to notice the distinct lack of activity. The Shanghai doesn't seem to get much in the way of patronage, and today's no different. Only a couple of tables are occupied.
Oh god, I was playing another visual novel earlier, and so it's time to press the enter key 7 bajillion times.
Summoned by the bells ringing, a most expected person comes to greet us.
She's here.
Welcome to check out.
Yuko looks chipper today. Trying to predict her moods is pretty hard, but it's a nice change from the norm.
Hello, Yuko.
Hey,
Good afternoon, you two.
She takes a deep bow, somewhat taken aback as she rises herself again and gets a better look at us.
What happened, you two, brother?
that barely came through.
My
Hey,
bad, my
we
bad.
get microphone cuts out on the bingo. I'm not complaining.
It was perfect. Her eyes drift towards the glass of the door behind us.
Oh, buddy.
We're inside now, at least. I think that's the most important thing.
It's nice and cozy. You're lucky to be working inside today.
It's been nice and quiet. I like this. I don't know what the fuck is up. Hold on.
No,
Yeah, I mean, you're actually doing pretty well, things considered.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is there anything else?
Baby, I hate days like this.
French vanilla tea, please.
I'll have the same.
Wait, how would they not hear the rain in the storm?
Right, coming up.
Because Yuko is, I don't know.
Too focused.
Yeah, actually, probably.
Nice one, CD.
She quickly skitters off with a determined look at her face, trying very hard not to forget our orders. If nothing else, she is at least dedicated to her job.
It drops down on all fours and crawls across the ceiling into the kitchen.
Comes back same way with a cup. How did she not spill that?
Inertia.
I lead. I lead Lilly to an empty seat before the two of us settle down. As usual, there's a large difference between my exhausted flopping down into my seat and Lily's delicate sliding into hers. Fuck, shit.
Okay, what I do, and this is sort of a habit that I picked up when I was narrating, is I hit enter, but well, actually no, it was something I picked up because of there's a delay sending you guys video through Discord. When we get close to the end of the line, I'll hit enter. That way the next line is ready for the next person by the time the previous person finishes. But that 100% backfires on me whenever someone flubs the last, like, few words of the line.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I just idly watched the rain falling outside. Occasional person runs down the street trying to stay as dry as possible, hands often tightly gripping a rain-soaked umbrella. Lily sits just as quietly as I, her eyes closed as she intently listens to all that's happening. It's a comfortable, relaxing silence that exists between us, just the type that we'd so often shared together in the past month. For Lily, at least. I can't help but playing the words of her sister in my mind, at times contrasting them to both our time spent together since I entered Yamaku, and to the way we've been since we started dating. No matter how much I try, I can't work Lily out. It's as if the harder I try to second-guess her emotions and her potential decision, the more difficult it becomes to reach a clear conclusion. It makes me doubt whether I'd ever really understood her. In the end, I'm going to have to ask, even though I very much want to avoid doing so.
You seem quiet today, Hisao.
Really?
You seem so enthusiastic about taking me out on a date. I'd assumed you had something specific you wanted to do.
No, not really. Just wanted to spend some time with you.
Is that so?
Fine. There was one thing.
A little grin finds its way onto Lily's face, her knowing full well that she's bested me. It makes what I want to say all the more awkward.
It was just, Akira and I were talking.
Oh?
What's with that tone?
What's with your shown, Hisao?
You two do seem to get on well, don't you?
Well, I do think she's a pretty cool person to talk with. It'd be nice if any of the teachers were anything like her.
Cool.
For a moment, I try to place her tone of voice, my mouth curling into a smirk as I realize it.
You're not. jealous. Are you?
I'm not jealous.
Well, you should be, because I had sex with Akira.
Oh god. Well, you see, I actually wanted to tell you that I was breaking up.
Yeah. You're wondering why I've been quiet. I want a divorce.
A divorce.
Divorce.
Married, so I still want a divorce.
I'm taking all of your money.
You
Should have gotten that primo.
I just wanted your money. After her teasing me over such a thing on our first date, I don't feel too bad about having a little laugh at her expense this time around. As we settle down, though, it's only a minor distraction from the real point of why I brought Lilly here.
Don't worry. It was mostly just everyday stuff. That said, there was something Akira mentioned that I wanted to talk to you about. When you went to see your family in Vernus, I'm still not quite sure what that word is, a while back, she said...
Akira
Where's it
told you
capitalized?
about my family's summons, hasn't she?
It's either a place in Scotland or the company.
I think it's a place in Scotland. I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking it up. Mark the bingo on it. It is in Scotland.
There we go.
Yo.
It's the city in Scotland, yes.
Alright, sweet.
Seconds tick by while I try to read Lily's face, an odd mixture of feelings written on it. She seems annoyed, but also somewhat confused.
Oh.
Yeah.
She just very effortlessly backhands Yuko in the nose.
Stay out of this.
Yuko attentively slides our drinks onto the table, her presence oddly large.
Yuko, be a dear and fuck off!
Yuko, if you don't do it immediately, drastic things will occur.
As she walks back to the counter after a quick, polite nod, I realize the air between me and Lilly. You are nothing. Me and Lilly is thick, and our expressions are both somewhat pensive.
I am gonna have to go ahead and mark off narrator can't speak, Priest.
For shame.
No.
Hey, it was always me getting that bingo square in the past, so... It's someone else's
Yeah.
fucking turn.
Yeah.
Well, he proceeds to cite the Navy SEALs copy pasta. Only for Yuko to cite it perfectly in rebuttal. It's like that one clip of FMA where Scar and what's his name recite that super long name to each other.
Go on, Marat. Say his name.
Oh god. What a coincidence. My name is... Jugame go kono suri kirikaji da sigyo na sugematsu na tsufun na tsukuna tokoro ni sumu tokoro yabra koji na bura koji paipo no shuniga no guni no pogu no pogu no chokime no chosuke. What a coincidence. My name is also Jugame go kono suri kirikaji da sigyo na sugematsu na tsufun na tsukuna tokoro ni sumu tokoro yabra koji na bura koji paipo no shuniga no guni shi guni no pogu no chokime no chosuke.
Wait, did they say that in the anime?
I see.
It's not in
Let
the
us settle
anime.
this.
It's like a I don't know what it is.
It's bloopers.
It's a bloopers
It's
thing.
a slapstick theater. Holy shit.
We really took it out of Morocco with that one. Even though she says I should lead my own life, she still interferes at the worst times.
I don't think you should blame Akira here. She's just looking out for you. It's not like I can't understand her concern over this.
Lily's irritation gives way to an awkward and largely unsuccessful attempt to mask her feelings. She really doesn't do well with being cornered or on personal topics.
I know, but I just wanted some more time. I knew you'd have figured it out eventually, but...
You were intentionally hiding this from me? For how long were you planning to do so?
Of course she was intentionally, what?
Oh, until I was gone.
What do you mean you were intentionally... How else would she...
I was
She could have just not been bringing it up.
That is intentionally not telling him. There's
Not if-
still intention behind that.
Oh, what? I thought I told
Good
you
way
already,
she's
bro.
being
I
at
thought I
him.
mentioned it like a week ago. You remember, right?
Pin it on Hisao. Gaslight him.
Caps like gatekeeper boss.
As I said, I simply wanted more time to think it through. I wanted to be sure of my decision before telling you.
What did you decide to do in the end?
I know what I want her to say, but an awful feeling refuses to leave my gut.
My family does dearly want me to return to them, and Akira will be going as well. I could still teach us a career, whether it be here or there.
So you're going. How long have you known? I already know you were asked when you first went to Scotland about a month ago.
Some time.
My frustration very nearly boils over. The fact that she's done this affects me more than it should. For her to not only be leaving, but to have been actively hiding her own plans from me. And after seeming for so long to be the one solid pillar of support and reliability I could depend on.
Now hang on just a second.
Bitch.
I don't think I would have noticed this if I hadn't literally been playing Magikoi earlier today. There are some eerie similarities between this plot line and the plot line of Chris's route in Magikoi. I won't get into it, but I was literally playing it earlier today, and I was like, I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu.
It feels as if the foundation underneath me is suddenly shifting drastically, much faster than I can adapt to. Perhaps this isn't so much frustration as sheer unease.
Lily.
I'm sorry, I wanted to think this through completely. I wasn't trying to take advantage of you, please.
I know, Lily. I know. This is just really sudden. And I guess this means that once you go, we'll be breaking up.
For one of the few times I've seen since I met her, she's genuinely lost for words. She doesn't look surprised, no doubt because the fact had dawned on her once she became sure of her decision, but rather, she appears genuinely unsure of how to deal with the situation now that it's in front of her.
We could try pursuing a long-distance relationship. They're getting more and more common these days, after all.
Even as she says it, the tone of her voice gives away that she doesn't truly believe what she's saying.
It's like fucking 2008, bro. That shit is not working. That shit don't even work today.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between, like, two different states long-distance relationship and being literally
different
actually
countries.
on the other, like, opposite ends of the world.
Exactly.
That's
Like,
a lot of data.
The Prime Meridian runs through Great Britain, and the international dateline is not that far away from Japan.
If you can't drive to them in a weekend, it ain't working. And even then, there's some strain.
Mhm.
That is Kane's advice for the day. Don't do long distance.
I'm of a similar opinion, but
Yeah.
Basically, everyone I know who's tried it, and let's be frank here, that's like one person. But everyone I know who's tried it, it has not worked.
I know 9.
It's hard.
9, and 1 has been successful.
I don't know if I know 9
Sometimes for
people.
periods of time, but
Or regularly talk to 9 people. I think that would be the better way to put it.
I know one person who's got an ongoing relationship like that, but as you said, it's... I'm not going to dox them, but 2 states that are relatively close to each other.
It can work if it's within,
Actually,
like,
that would not be doxing at all. These are 2 people that have no contact to this whole thing. It's Massachusetts and Ohio.
Yeah, see, that's doable. Anyway.
Lily is far too old-fashioned to be able to cope with a relationship without any kind of physical presence, and even I am, to an extent. All we would ever be to each other would be a voice from the other side of the world. In the end, trying to rationalize everything is futile. Any attempts to try and connect what's happening with the future or past just seem to get more difficult the more I concentrate. Those quiet moments when we just walked side by side, the precious times we spent with Hanako and Akira, the casual chatter we had during lunchtime, the times we made love, the confessions of our feelings to each other. all pointless. All just a fleeting moment in our young life.
We're just two children pretending to be adults, aren't we?
Well, that's a line.
What's the most underrated song on the OST? I would tell you, Whiskers, my opinion on that if I remembered the names of any of the songs.
Yeah.
That being said, to sort of contribute
TV's
to that
got no
conversation just briefly, most of my favorite songs on the soundtrack are actually the opening
The
themes.
ambience.
And
Yeah.
more so than anything because I've had more time to deep dive into them because I play them on piano. But that's just my 2 cents. I really like all of the opening themes. Especially Rin's. Rin has
Ren's is amazing.
Rin and so it's Cloudland Swing and 3 Stars are 2 of my favorite songs on the whole soundtrack. And then Moment of Decision is way up there as well since we're listening to it right now.
Mm-hmm.
A long, long silence hangs in the air between us. The noise of the other patrons drinking and talking only makes the situation feel more strange and disconnected. Lily's face remains low, her dejected expression clouding it.
I'm sorry, Hisao.
A simple apology and no more. She's left entirely without further response or comment. With a long sigh, I gather what's left of my thoughts and ask the final question I have for her.
When will you be going?
I'll be leaving with Akira, so it'll be a little less than a week.
The beginning of summer holidays?
Just a little afterward, yes.
Her tone is unusually slow and steady, her apologetic and depressed mood all the more written to her face as she tries to hide it in her voice.
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot about Jitter is also super good. Great minds think alike.
In the end, I can't even keep my promise of going to Tanabata.
Tanabata?
I can't help it.
Tanabata.
Tukamagoo with her before she leaves.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna rename it to that, Tukamagoo.
Yeah.
If any one of you...
There it is, the shot.
If any one of you says Tanabata instead of Tukamagoo for the rest of this playthrough, I will personally hunt you down and break your kneecaps.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Yes.
This Tukamagoo shit gets serious.
Oh, dear.
Agreed, because I'm so
Tukamagoo
excited for the CD analysis.
Yeah, it's just a mod that removes the word Tanabata and replaces it with Tukamaboo.
Tukamagoo.
I look down, seeing my face reflected in the by now warm cup of neglected tea standing in front of me.
The best part about this is I'm totally going to be the first one to mess it up.
I really thought I'd left this kind of expression behind. For a while, I just stared down into the still surface, trying to sort through my emotions to get at what course of action I should take, whether it be right now or in the future. But, just as before, the effort is wasted. I glance up to see Lilly, gently sipping her cool tea without complaint. Her face drawn and shoulders slumped. She looks to be deep in thought, too. A strangely cold atmosphere coming between us as we isolate ourselves to mull things over. Hold on, one second.
Huh?
I was
Hold on.
eating something.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Even as Lily's cup slowly empties, mine remains untouched. You couldn't tell? Damn, I'm good. It's a long time before I noticed the rain dying down outside and the few other patrons of the Shanghai having left. The chill of the rapidly darkening evening permeates the dormitory hallways. While trudging down the corridor to my room, I see an unwelcome movement from up ahead.
Oh my god, is he back?
No.
Sure enough, the opening of the door.
Sure
opposite-
enough,
I gotta write
the
that.
disdain, the other disdain. We get the Kenji disrespect bingo square.
The opening of the door opposite mine heralds the arrival of a bespectacled Kenji.
I gently
Yeah.
open the door.
Kenji is usually bespectacled.
Hey man, what's...
Shut your fucking mouth.
Ooh, oh dude, you look awful, I think. You okay?
He really has a knack for making any situation better.
I don't really want to go into it. It's late. Fine.
No, I was just reading what CD just sent.
Lily. Okay, that's cool.
That moment when Lily said, "Sorry, Hisao, I've made my choice in this moment of decision," and just lilied all over the place. Great stuff.
That is so very...
Oh my god, what? What is this Kenji moment? You ever want to talk about it? I'm here, you know.
I look at him for a moment before surrendering my stern front and awkwardly scratching the back of my neck, embarrassed by my standoffish response to him.
Thanks, Kenji.
Hey, it's cool. That's what friends are for, right?
You considered it a friendship? Oh, you poor ignorant child.
You're like the goldfish that I became strangely attached to who taps at my window at 5 in the morning.
And wait, what?
Wait, what?
How'd he grow legs?
No, how to
What?
grow wings? Legs
Wait,
ain't getting
what?
a goldfish up the side of a house.
It got him in.
No,
he's-
goldfinch!
Finch!
Oh, what?
Not fish.
Yeah. Finch.
Oh my god.
Oh, good.
You're sitting there like, Finch have legs. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. See ya. In that case, my analogy about flushing it down the toilet would have made even less sense.
It keeps flying out of the bowl.
just die peacefully. Just sit down.
Sit down and take it like a man.
He's
Just like forcefully shoving a bird into the toilet.
CD has
That's a
pointed
blunder.
out that Kenji seems like a better person in this route.
Yeah.
Despite
That was like
barely
genuinely
interacting
really
with
good.
despite barely interacting with Hisao, which leads CD to believe that it was Hisao's influence that corrupted Kenji, not the other way around.
Oh my god. Kenji,
Comfort
like,
Hisao.
just sees...
Comforties!
We had to do it.
I open the door to my own dorm room and close it behind me as he quickly waves me off. What's that? Why was that like a whip crack? The solid thud the door makes against the door frame sounds like a final call for the life I've led since coming to Yamaku. I just stand in my darkened room, fruitlessly attempting to work out what I should do from this point onwards. Just, what should I do?
Try to get back on the Hanako route.
Hey, Hanako, you wanna go out sometime?
Da, 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 da.
As class ends, I simply rest my head on my hand and stare out of the window to pass the time. It's been a few days since Lilly told me her plans. I haven't been to our ordinary lunchtime haunt since then. Not that there would be much point. Hanako's been busy with the newspaper club she's newly joined, and has even begun talking in class with Naomi every now and then.
Wow.
I feel the
Oh,
need to
Hanako-
correct you to
Hanako's doing
Naomi,
so much
but
better.
I will kill you.
Naomi works.
I'll butcher
That's
this
what I'm
whenever
saying.
I like.
Even Lilly, aside from the fact that a meeting between us would have been awkward in any case, has been run off her feet with class representative duties as the summer holidays approach. And now they're just about here. With the end of today's bell, summer holidays will have begun. I suppose that all I'll end up doing will be visiting my parents for the duration, and lazing about my old home, now that my previous plans are entirely askew. Meanwhile, Akira and Lilly will be en route to Scotland to live out the rest of their lives there. No matter how hard I try to rationalize the idea that once summer holidays begin, my life will return to the way it was, it simply refuses to happen. Everyone's moving on with their lives. Lily's rejoining her family, Akira's moving in her father's business, Hanako's gaining new friends and hobbies, and even Yuko's moving ahead with her university aspirations. Even I'm moving forward in the end. With the grades I've gotten so far in Yamaku, much less after such a rocky beginning, the path to get into teaching science as a career seems straightforward. I suppose I should at least be happy about that much, but it really doesn't seem to help. Oh god.
Oh god.
Should I mark down revving the engine?
Absolutely. Hold on. Been a minute.
In the meantime, anyone who wants to can check general.
Check general?
There was an image.
Oh, I've seen that one before, and I still don't get it. Because we haven't done Misha's.
Did you say we haven't done Misha's route?
Well, we haven't done Chizune's bad ending.
Well,
I don't think the
I don't
implication
think
there
it-
is that she has canonically has a penis.
Oh, I thought she was trans.
no,
Wait,
what?
just Misha has no outright stated disability, so it's a joke to try and figure out what the fuck it is.
And you just
Oh.
people just say increasingly random shit, basically.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought so much different.
Where the
Dude.
fuck did you get that interpretation from? I'm
I
genuinely
mean,
confused how that came
that is
across.
That
Like,
is
wait,
exactly what the
how
meme's
doesn't that
implying.
make sense?
That is exactly what the meme's implying. Whiskers just took it not as a meme and as an actual
As the
explanation
truth.
of the plot.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
I just thought that was like something you discovered about her character later. And it's like, yeah.
Isn't Misha's voice actually like canonically like Hichan?
Yeah, her voice
Maybe.
is deep canonically, as
Actually,
stated
yeah.
by Hisao.
That one line,
God,
I still don't
has
know if I
anyone
believe
canonically
that line or
confirmed
not.
that
I
she's not trans?
Because
I hear no other proof saying she's high pitched. Just saying.
I guess you're right. It's so ingrained in my brain that I refuse to believe otherwise.
Does that mean Natsuki is actually like the reverse of a trope?
Wasn't Natsuki also secretly a man?
Not
I
Suki.
don't think so.
What the fuck are you guys
From
genuinely?
Doki Doki
What are you
Literature
talking
Club?
about?
Doki Doki.
I think I saw some.
I
sort
know
of
you're
video
talking
online.
about Doki Doki, but where did Natsuki being trans come from?
I think I saw a video online sometime about how
Of Suki?
using like proportions and measurements and stuff like that. They were like,
Oh,
Natsuki
great.
leans more towards being a tramp.
By transvestigating. Awesome. Love that.
Oh, what the
Horrible.
Okay.
fuck? I'm a little concerned.
I need another second.
We threw
I'm
him
sorry
off
to
his
cut you off.
game. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Katawa Shoujo Wiki?
What?
Under the trivia section, it quotes, it says, and I quote, "There is a theory that her parents sent her to Yamaku because of her homosexuality, believing it to be a disability."
Oh no!
Yeah, this, I get, like, damn.
Wait, is this like
There
actual
in the
game?
beta at the very least, there was a lot of implication that her parents were highly homophobic.
Which makes sense. Shit, in the beta, she kills herself in one of the endings.
Yeah.
The
No,
beta's
she
not-
kills herself regardless of the ending.
Yeah. So, the beta is not a plot to be relied upon. They changed a lot for a reason.
Blood type is AB. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
that's a fun fact rather than a sad fact.
She is the only character outside of the 5 main girls to have an H scene.
That is true.
He-chan! Did that sound right at all?
I mean,
More or
pretty
less.
much, it was
Oh, really?
Misha screaming.
It was a
Oh,
little
shit.
hoarse, but
Okay, well, sweet.
I'm sure you got it.
I quickly stopped my ruminating and turned to face the bubbly voice beside me. Wait.
No,
Bubbly
no,
voice.
wait, guys, hold on. That whole
What?
bit about Misha's voice being deep, wasn't that
She was faking it!
No.
Peekaboo.
He was actually, what the fuck? He was actually on the phone with Akira, remember? And he made
Oh!
a joke about
Oh shit, yeah.
That's right.
I
What?
still believe that Misha's voice is canonically really deep, and we've just been getting it completely off the fucking mark this whole time.
Whoa.
Whoa, ho, 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 ho.
I
Fucking
quickly...
Kaido laugh.
Oh, wait, did
I
I...
get that. I get your joke, Kane.
Thank you.
Kaido.
Putting on the most...
One Piece.
Oh. I thought you guys were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime for a second.
The One
I got
Piece
very
is
lost.
real.
The One Piece. The One Piece is real.
One Piece is real.
Can we get much higher? So high.
So high.
That reminds me, there's someone making a new Rin plushie.
How the fuck
Hold
did
on.
we get here?
I don't know how.
Precy,
it reminds
please
me.
continue.
Putting on the most upbeat expression I can muster.
Mustard.
I posted it in Leo's den.
As expected, Shizune stands flanking her. I have a sneaking suspicion they want something from me. They want something from me.
Hey, Misha. Shizune. What's up?
Your youth.
What the fuck?
What the hell? Misha just turns into a cosmic horror.
Wow.
So frickin' Muv-Love level twist right there.
Shichan and I were thinking, since we're just two poor little girls that need help with all the work we've been given just before the holidays begin,
Sure, I can help.
but Hichan, we're really neat.
What?
I did not think that would work.
Drops the
Oh.
voice.
That was the best joke you've done so far, Priest. Just dropped the Misha voice.
What?
A little bit of joke theft. Thank you, gang. I think I broke Misha. Even Shizune raises an eyebrow at her accomplice's shuddering stop in her tracks.
So you'll help us, Hichan.
I just said I would, didn't I?
It's hardly like I have anything better to do. Maybe helping them with their work will help take my mind off the situation. Little did you know, you just signed away the next 50 years. Misha seems genuinely ecstatic with my response, but Shizune's expression is clouded and difficult to read. I find myself quickly averting my eyes from her own, as if it almost looks like a face of pity. No doubt, it must just be my imagination.
No.
Imagine
no, you're definitely-
Shizune takes a look at the next generation of the student council and purposefully bombs all of her exams so that she can keep repeating years.
He was on the edge of doing that on her route. I wouldn't doubt it.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
This is hardly the first time I've been in the student council room. Indeed, I found myself down here often, either to help Lilly with class rep work, or sort out one thing or another with the student council itself. Now, though, it's quite a different place.
Oh my god, it's a... What the fuck? Hey,
Old-ass
Hachi
think
laptop?
With a fucking CD player built in.
Oh,
Kids
I
at the
miss it when
time.
laptops have had built-in CD players.
Yeah.
Kids these days think that's a bomb.
Well, I mean... I'm sure you could
IED,
hook
get
a bomb
down!
to it. The classic bomb laptop.
Wow,
Papers
that's the
and
best
folders.
image we can find.
Papers. What? Okay, hold on. I'm getting way too much of a kick out of this fucking Bob laugh.
I did my best Gus imitation.
It's even got a little nipple.
What?
You know, the laptop nipple. Right in the
That's
middle.
the detonator.
What the fuck? Laptop nipple?
Yeah, do you not like the little nub that in the middle of every laptop that can function as a mouse?
How is
Oh.
that? You're supposed to have 2 of them, no?
Some do.
The
not all.
laptops don't.
Some laptops do, some laptops don't.
It's a nose button.
A nose button?
Yeah.
Hit the
There's
snaz.
only one.
Papers
Well,
and
you know what else
folders are
there's only one
strewn.
of?
The
And
piece.
in other news, for the 3rd time in a row, Priest gets interrupted trying to start that sentence.
Sorry, Priest. Please continue.
Well, now I don't
Papers
want
and
it.
folders. Fuck you!
Sorry.
It's the sequel to that one clip where Merrick says, "You shut your whore mouth."
Oh god, that's funny.
Papers and folders are strewn across
Dude.
every table in the room. Only a solitary little black laptop atop a single desk sticking out from the mess.
Alright, Priest.
It looks positively ancient, and I guess it has been valiantly serving its task in archiving information for years and years. God bless this laptop.
So, what needs doing? This looks like a lot to do. You're up, Kane.
That.
Tuesday's expression becomes determined as she signs. It's a worrying look. Worrying. How the fuck do you... Hey, John! My worry was well placed.
It always is.
Everything you say?
I'm gonna have a cat.
Kid
baby.
named Finger.
Kid named Finger. That.
Kid named everything.
Holy shit, there's been a kid finger. Wait.
What?
Nope.
Yeah, nope, we're walking that one back.
We're walking out with
Back to the drawing board.
Shut it down. Erase the stream.
Yeah, alright, I'll just restart the
ladies and
stream and
gentlemen,
we'll
that's it
we'll
for
read
now.
it from the beginning.
I've got to go
Walter,
destroy
push
the
your dick
internet.
away, Walter.
Push your dick away, Walter.
I am not having sex with you right now, Walter.
Alright now.
Or am I?
Left on the desks is what needs to be done. It all needs to be diligently recorded, which is what the laptop is for.
What did you say?
What are you, deaf?
No, that would be the other one here. And I'm guessing that I'll be the one doing this.
That.
Shichon says she saw
Fucking S's, man.
Shichon says she saw you with the computers in the library a few days ago. And that you seemed really good with them.
Oh, we've totally gotten in-canon swearing by this point.
Oh yeah.
Priesty, do you want me to take over for a little bit if you're having a lot of trouble switching back and forth?
Nah, this is great. I kind of sound like Badger from Breaking Bad trying to do a Misha voice. Good with computers.
Empire's Gang singing yet?
Yes, we all sung the outro as always.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, not the
the
outro.
passing
We
of
also
time.
sung.
Passing of time.
Passing of Time does not count.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
We sung
then no.
something else earlier.
Can we get much the One Piece?
Y'all want to carry
Yes, can we get much higher?
Megalovania again?
Does
Song
Shadow
Can We Get
Wizard
Much
Money
Higher
Gang
together?
count?
How would that be singing?
That's not.
We
singing.
haven't done Shadow Wizard Money Gang either.
It's kind of slam poetry. Is slam poetry singer?
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love
love
casting
casting
spells.
I'm gonna have to veto that one being being singing.
Okay, what if I beatbox and then you say it?
That would all right. I would consider it that. I would consider it singing if beatboxing was.
Love casting.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. I just shoved a nuke up my pussy.
What?
What the fuck kind of a spell is that?
It seems we got lost in translation. Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
So this is the Empire's Gang on Tires.
This is great.
The sequel to Oppenheimer that nobody expected.
No one wanted it either, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, we should get back on track. We're trying to finish the fucking game today.
Good with computers. I can touch type, I guess, but it seems like a overestimation of my skills.
Fuck. Hold on.
I was just typing up homework. I mean, fanfiction.
I mean, homework.
Or do I?
Nah, it was fanfiction.
Specifically shitty SAO fanfiction. Wait, Shizune was watching me do that? A man
All
needs his
of it.
privacy.
I see everything, Hisao.
Okay, Russian Mishine.
Oh, June, you're right. Did you say Mishune?
Yes,
Oh.
the famous swordsman.
Da.
Like a hero from the sky. Now I can't get Badger out of my head.
Know their allies before they get know their enemies, of course. Wow, that's pretty wise.
For once, it's not very hard work to work out who said that. Nonetheless, it doesn't seem worth fighting over. Sitting at a computer doing some typing hardly seems onerous.
One
Onerous.
lost.
One rose.
One rose
One-
to rule them.
one
The
rose.
one ruse. The one ruse is real.
One piece.
Hey, Ken, I've been meaning to ask you. Do you ever make Bart or Kevin dance for you?
Huh? What?
Bart and Kevin, I think I managed to never say it. Bart and Kevin died like a year ago.
Oh,
Who is Bart and Kevin?
they were his
my
pet rats.
My pet rats.
Oh no!
Yeah, they went out peacefully. Rats have this thing they love to do where they develop tumors.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, they went out peacefully though. But before that though, yes, my mom was training them little dance moves.
Aw.
So you can train a rat to dance. They're literally just like tiny dogs. They're the best.
Really? That
I was
sounds
talking
awesome.
about like putting them in your two hands and having them wiggle around for you.
Oh, that even more so. Absolutely.
Like recently,
Those
a thing for Mauschli came up in my feed, and I've been curious as to seeing it further.
Yeah, it's great. I love treating rats like that, but they probably hate me for it.
Rat hatred.
As far as tasks to help Shizune and Misha go,
Also, I love the way you put something rats love to do is just grow tumors. Man, they really love that.
They do it all the time. That.
Besides, it will help to take your mind off things.
Take my mind off things? Take my mind off what things?
Misha's face goes blank as she translates this for Shizune, though the latter's response is only to glance away towards the window after briefly signing.
That.
You're not being subtle.
That. Apologies,
Okay.
I'm trying to do a bit.
Okay.
Misha's face quickly returns to a smile as she translates back. She was confused, I guess, but Shizune is harder to pin down.
I was just thinking you may like to get your mind off the exams, of course.
Either way, we may as well get into it sooner rather than later. I'll go along with you.
It's the spirit, John.
And that's the 5th spreadsheet compiled and saved. Time for the next month's. After a little bit of fussing around, we all managed to get a bit more organized. Shizune's been gathering up the loose sheets and, thankfully, sorting them into a neat pile next to me. Meanwhile, Misha's been handling the manual writing work, her girly pink pen leaving its unmistakable mark on paper after paper. Once I got myself into a rhythm, this really hasn't been so bad. Shizune and Misha also seem to be in the swing of things, wordlessly communicating as they go about their business with fervor. I periodically glance at the sheet beside the laptop, apparently a list of student names and matching addresses, as I dutifully enter the data written on it. I don't pay a lot of attention to what I'm typing in until I reach about midway down the page. Hakamichi, class 3-3. Huh. Her family's home is in Saitama. What's it doing in there?
Sorry.
I skipped a line.
My idle curiosity is ended abruptly as 3 light taps can be heard rapping on the door. Misha quickly skips over to check who it is, tapping Chizune's shoulder on the way to let her companion know what's happening.
Ah, you're here!
Who is it?
With a slight pause to enter Shizune's data into the filing along with all the others, I look up to check who's at the door. Barack Obama? Lilly.
Soda!
Joe Biden! After
Are they
giving
gonna
a
make me vote for Joe Biden?
Do we have a Joe? I was gonna say a Joe Rogan bingo, and I really don't know why. Do we have a Bo Burnham reference bingo?
We do not, no.
I guess we don't make that many.
No.
We did during SVE, but...
Very true.
After giving a cursory nod to Misha in greeting, she perks her head up in her trademark manner.
Trademark Misha.
Is that Hisao?
She's pretty darn good at working out my voice from the smallest of phrases nowadays.
Who could forget?
Yeah, it's me.
You're so nasally, Hisao.
What?
I don't know.
What the fuck, are you sick or something? Gross.
Hisao, have you been doing that wacky zacky?
The atmosphere feels slightly awkward as she bows. Neither of us know quite how intimate we should be around each other, given she's leaving in just a matter of hours.
Wait, she's actually leaving forever right now?
Right now?
It might not be today, but rather like early tomorrow or something like that. Because it's the
It was
last
early
day of
morning
school.
yesterday.
Oh shoot, I thought she was leaving after the year ended.
This is a fact that, thankfully, neither the oblivious Misha nor the hard-working Shizune pick up on.
Oh, you've got work to do as well.
Unfortunately, I arrived as soon as I could, but my class held me up with a surprise farewell party, and I had to get changed.
Whoops.
glanced-
Was there another line there? Or am I going insane? I am going insane.
Okay.
All right, I give up on this bit. Hisao said he could touch type only, so I was gonna go quickly flex that I can type above 130 words per minute. But I'm on my fucking mechanical keyboard, which my average is about 124 on my mechanical keyboard. So I've been trying to crack above. It is, but I've been trying to crack above 130 for the last 5 fucking minutes.
Oh no.
And it started dropping, and I was like, "Fuck, okay, we're done." So bam, here's me smoking Hisao in a typing contest in Leo's den.
Brilliant.
I glanced down at the laptop's clock. It's pretty much the end of the lunchtime, so I'm guessing Lilly managed to wrangle the last period off as well.
I take it Shizune is here as well.
That bitch.
That.
Of course!
That.
And I've been here during all of lunchtime as well!
There's no way to translate this bit, but just imagine, like, picture me signing as Shizune, calling Lilly rude words. I can do it now. I can do it. I'm at that level, but
No.
Here,
Turn
just
on live
screen
chain
share.
reaction.
Nah. I would butcher it. I'm embarrassed.
No. Kane, you're not embarrassed. We're just trying to protect ourselves from like swearing on Twitch's guidelines and saying language or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we would do that.
Gotta make it PG for the,
The children who watch our Katawa Shoujo streams.
The last comment was really not needed. Shizune's baiting Lilly into another argument. I can feel it.
I'm sorry I can't be as hardworking as you, Shizune. I'll endeavor to hire more lackeys to do my work in the future, I assure you.
And Lilly just took the bait, escalating things further.
That.
And are you the one who always outsourcing work to your classmates?
The difference is that they choose to help, unlike your tyrannical grip on your own class.
That.
Tyranny works. Even if we did things differently, we still got the same results, right?
This is school, not a police state. You'll have to remind me when you were appointed class monarch, I'm afraid.
Da.
You have to seize power. It's not as if it's just handed to you, but I guess you wouldn't really understand that, right?
He's so
Da.
like, I thought this was about it.
You'll also have to remind me when monarchs were elected into their positions.
Lilly positively bristles at this. Tuesday's two-hit combo forces her onto her defense.
Yet for all your vaunted power, you cannot get one person to help you without forcing him.
Da.
But he self-volunteered. He's such a hard worker. He's doing this instead of meaningless socialization, right?
Is that so, Hisao?
This is bad. I really ended up between a rock and a hard place. As much as it may pay me to do this, the truth has at least a chance of stopping this argument here and now.
It's okay, Lily. They didn't harass me to come or anything.
Lilly gives me a disapproving grimace, silently radiating her strong feelings of displeasure in my general direction. She can be quite scary when she wants to be, though thankfully that isn't often.
Da.
Key-chan, if you make that sound like it's a regular occurrence.
It isn't? In the end, it doesn't matter so long as everything's getting done at a good pace. Let's just get all this work over with so we can go home.
She's an ace.
Fuck. She's an ace. Snorts derision. Fuck! You're literally less than useless!
My paraplegic grandma could do more than you, goddammit!
Jesus Christ.
As a reference, by the way.
She's an ace. Snorts derisively and gets back to marking off the sheet in front of her, while Lilly sighs and finds her way along her hand following the filing cabinets lined along the wall.
God, that was so funny. I said that line, and then I just watched the Twitch viewer count tick down from 2 to 1.
Wait, how? I'm watching it, and CD's watching it, probably.
I don't
I'm
know.
also
That's just what I
watching it.
said on Twitch stats. CD just left, apparently. CD had enough. We finally broke him.
I've had enough!
Oh, by the way, I just noticed CD. Yeah, I'm not here, said CD. I just noticed, yeah, we did use your suggestion for the final stream title.
Hopefully it'll be the final. At this pace, I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
This would mark the only time I've managed to successfully defuse one of these situations. But the grudging ceasefire built around mutual fear and respect makes this feel like the Cold War than any real peace. I can't take all the credit, though. Lilly's leaving has surely affected Shizune to some extent, to make her give up so easily. Moments before getting back to my work, I noticed Lilly reaching up to grab something from above a filing cabinet. I almost offer to help, but her height gives her ample ability to take it down safely. When she sets the strangely shaped device on the desk beside me, I realize just what it is. Sort of, as she takes the old green covering off and sits down. Holy shit, that's a bomb! At first glance,
Whoa.
it seems to be an old metallic blue typewriter, but it doesn't take me long to realize it's far from ordinary.
Rail Rider.
It has far fewer keys than expected, and those it has show no lettering printed on them, Only the shadows cast by the tiny braille dots on them give a hint to the thing's purpose.
Blind typewriter?
Oh, this? Well, you're not far off. It's normally called a Perkins Brailler, but it's basically a typewriter for the blind, yes. It presses braille into the page rather than text, which is why it has fewer keys.
Huh. Really neat.
You make it like a translation writer where you type in braille, and then wait, no, that's dumb. Sorry,
What?
I was gonna
Braille
say
is
you type in braille and then it prints out keys, but you could just put braille on the keys instead.
Yeah.
So never mind.
It gives a lighthearted grin at my curiosity over it. I have to admit that it appeals to my sense of novelty. Oh, shit, I gotta get out of here. What? I am gonna die! Oh no.
You still playing Isaac?
Darkest Dungeon.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I'll go ahead and mark
Okay,
off
I could
someone's
not
business.
tell if I thought that was like real life, and I was like,
Oh.
oh no, priest,
I
what
mean,
happened?
he already had me on monkey type.
Oh, fair enough.
I just want to live. Without further ado, we each get back to our allotted tasks. The loud clunking of the mechanics in Lily's brailer and the tapping of the laptop's old and weary keyboard quickly fill the room.
Thankfully, only 3 of us can hear it.
It's a nice atmosphere.
I'll go ahead and mark off Facetious Empire's gang.
Did you die? Yes. It's a nice atmosphere, really. Everyone knows what they have to do. And Lily and I get to sit beside each other and exchange the odd word as we work away. Nostalgic. That's what it feels like. It's pleasant, but just slightly stained with the knowledge that our time together is nearing its end.
Excuse me, Misha.
To properly address her, Misha bounces over from the filing cabinet she's peering into, in spite of Lily's lack of sight. For a moment I think it's strange, but then realize it's exactly what I do.
Hey, yo, CD3TC, what's up?
It's crazy.
That's a precognition moment.
Our
We haven't marked that off in a while, actually.
Our future sense is failing us.
Could you ask Shizune where the attendance records for Class 3-2 are? I think they've been moved.
Kidoki.
The hell? CD3, what was that?
And with that, she flitters off to Shizune, who's working at a table behind us.
There's
Lily's familiarity with the council room and the efficiency with which she works remind me that she, Misha and Shizune used to all work together in the student council. Maybe this is a fitting end for her to stay in Yamaku, working away just like she used to, surrounded by those she loved and at least liked. I look up, getting taken off guard by Shizune sorting through a drawer rather than Misha. Sure enough, she plucks out a manila folder, entirely blank save just for the barely visible bumps on its front, and holds it in front of Lily. Lily's hand flits over it to check what it is, fingers feeling out the dots of braille and confirming it's what she asked for.
No amount of brainwashing arcs can change that. Thank you, Misha.
No reply. No reply. That is, save for an odd grin. No, smile on Shizune's face. A couple of seconds pass before Lily clicks that it isn't Misha behind her, but Shizune. Her momentary look of surprise is replaced by a slightly bashful smile. For a few moments, the room is all but still and silent. Eventually, though, Shizune strides back to her workstation, and Lily begins typing once again. It only lasted a handful of seconds in all, but it feels like years of communication were made up for in that one silent exchange.
They are so gay.
And I am gonna go ahead and mark off a brand new art style as well. Even though I did recognize the way Lily was drawn, but I don't think I've ever seen Shizune drawn by that artist before.
Nah.
Finished.
This one is afternoon.
My
Let's
mic
go!
cuts me off when I sing this song now. No.
Huh?
I always sing this song and it cuts me off now.
I actually got a song title correct for once.
I lean my head back and rub my eyes to try and work away their weariness. Staring at that small and rather poor screen has taken its toll.
Thank you, CD. Excellent timing. The only thing left is to file these away and I'll have my workload finished as well.
Good. I can pack up the brailer and put it away while you do that.
Yeah, ignoring the debt ceiling and systematic inequalities, I remembered a Katawa Shoujo song. It's truly a great day for America.
Good morning, USA.
I've got
I
a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on its face,
and he's shining a salute to
the American race.
American Dad.
Oh, I wondered.
Thank you, Hisao.
Him singing it at a different rhythm threw me off.
Yeah, I know, it was horrible.
Misha, are you and Shizune far from being done?
I look around for the two as I replace the cover over the brailer, only to see them waiting at the door. I guess they must be waiting for us. With a minimum of wasted time, we file and pack up everything that remains and join them.
Thanks for waiting, you two.
So funny how obvious Lilly is in a different art style.
We couldn't just take off without you, Hee-chan. You've been a great help.
Oh, we've totally got Discord noises on stream so far. I should have marked that off ages ago.
But it was
Even
She's in a nods
more
approving.
interesting to note. Fuck, I interrupted two people trying to say this. My bad. I'll say it quickly. Even more interesting to note is that Lilly was one of the last people to get a character redesign. I think Emmy was absolutely the last to have her finalized design with Lilly in second place.
Interesting.
And that's why, as even more proof, in the meme Marak posted, there is Emmy's old design and not her new one.
Oh, what?
I did
Let me see
notice
this.
that, yeah.
Yeah, Emmy's in her old art style in that meme you posted.
She's in a nods approvingly, pleased with my efforts.
Oh. I mean, it's not that different. I guess that the last class representative work done and over with then.
That's right.
I'll miss you, Lily. Wait, that's not. God damn
The narrator, Mrs. Lilly.
it. Wait.
See you, Lily. I think it was fun working with you.
Thank you, Misha. It's been good working with you. And Shizune.
She's in a fuck.
She's
Shizune thinks for a moment before formulating her response. It's not that she often communicates without thinking, quite the opposite, but this time it's even more considered than usual.
Why am I getting so many
Dot,
Discord
dot, dot.
That. My bad.
Where are they coming from? Whatever.
Who are you? Misha looks a little surprised before passing on the message.
Shizune says, you'd better do your work over there better than you did it here.
Far from taking offense, Lily giggles into her hand.
If that's the case, then please tell Shizune to give those still here a little more understanding in the future.
Competitive until the last. Maybe Shizune and Lily aren't so different after all.
That.
Shizune says that she'll be checking to make sure you live up to your end of the promise.
And that's how it will be. I'd better be off then. Goodbye, Shizune. Goodbye, Misha. Hisao?
Lily takes hold of my arm in hers, there being no need for a cane. I'm here to guide her. With this nod of farewell to the two, we set off out the door and make our way to the school grounds. What is it, Lil?
What are you doing?
Wait a second, am I missing some context here, or are they chill? Cause at the Shanghai, what was that about?
It's about that Lily's leaving.
But I thought, like, they were upset and didn't talk to... Am I, like...
I think they are, but they still want to enjoy their time together, you know?
Oh, that puts a whole different spin on this. Shit. Okay. Well, line. As I turned to wave goodbye to them, I noticed Shizune's gaze lingering on Lily. They may annoy each other, but family bonds aren't easily broken.
Got all your papers sorted then? You're gonna have to give up your Japanese citizenship.
Yes, they've all been filled out and handed in.
I'm not joking, by the way.
What reference
I know
was
you're
that?
That's just a rule of Japanese citizenship. You can only either have it or not it. You can't have more than one citizenship and be Japanese. On top of things as always, aren't you?
She gives an earnest smile at the compliment, but it feels as if her happiness is just a veneer over the fact that she's fully aware of how much she's leaving behind. It reminds me of how she was like when I first met her. Always smiling. Always that little bit of aloof. Always that little distance away from everybody. Even now, she still maintains that air around many others, especially those she's not close to. I had hoped that our time together would have changed that fact. Our pace slows, the two of us coming to a halt in the all but empty school gardens. A crossroads, its symbolism.
Amori?
What?
You said
There's a song called
crossroads. That's with the we've taken to turning that into an Amori reference.
Oh.
Ah, yes, and the running gag about CD not mentioning that he's leaving. We're getting all the old jokes today. Hisao, is something the...
Lily's words are cut short as I turn and wrap my arms around her, pulling her tight. I may not usually be given to such impulse actions, but I just want to be close to her, even if it's the last time I'll be able to. All the other students have retreated to their dormitories and home, only the ruffling of leaves in the breeze making any sound whatsoever. Holy shit, it's not on the stairway this time.
This is the most used CG in the whole fucking game.
God damn it, Lily, you do this every time. Let's kiss, come on.
No, but that one's also way overused.
You know what, Lily? Just get away.
I promise you, we're gonna fucking see it. It's gonna follow this.
As I draw back, I can see she's dropped her carefully maintained smile. Her hand hesitates, wanting neither to leave nor to stay on my features. She's putting up a brave show, but her slight tremble gives her away. Lily may be able to control herself well, but even she can't hold her composure together now. This is the woman I've come to love, but also the one who, in all too short a time, will leave the country forever.
I'm sorry, Hisao.
It's okay. You've got your own life to lead after all.
Okay, I might need to actually mute that Discord channel real quick. I don't want to mute.
You should keep channels muted. That would make your life way easier when I start my Umineko reread.
You're gonna reread Umineko?
Oh yeah, I'm planning on doing it this summer. At the very
Damn,
least,
I was gonna say you should wait until I finish Higurashi so we can reread it, so I can read it at the same time you're rereading it.
Oh, I'll simply read it again when you start reading it.
It's like the solution is simple.
If I have an excuse, it'll make it worthwhile.
We walk up the hallway in the girls' dormitory, hand in hand, our emotions by now largely quelled. Nevertheless, our hands grip each other much more tightly than before. Faint, muffled voices can be heard from Lily's room, the origins of which aren't difficult to guess. The moment she opens the door, Hanako bursts through and wraps her arms around Lily.
Just shot a firework.
Oh, oh, jeez.
taking her very obviously by surprise.
Lilly!
Someone just
Sorry,
shot a firework.
Hanako?
The Alamo! I'm taking it back!
Hanako, it's okay. It's not real. It's all in your head. You can calm down.
They're in the trees, Lilly.
I'm gonna miss you,
Hanako,
Lilly.
you're back. You don't
Please.
need to remember that anymore.
Remember me.
Remember me.
As expected, she is on the verge of tears. Lilly gently rubs Hanako's hair with her hand in response, then pulls back and gives a warm, reassuring smile.
Oh.
Looking behind Hanako, Akira can be seen getting up from the side of Lily's bed and scratching her head.
Should we count that as a character sprite jump scare?
Absolutely.
I think Hanako's was more of a jump scare, but still.
We got it either way, so...
Her eyes turn from Lilly and Hanako to me, a stilted, weak smile hanging on her face. I try to return a more genuinely happy look, but the result is probably just the same.
Cool. Everything set. Managed to hold back from killing Shizune.
The comment draws and it means to giggle from her sister.
I heard that.
Yes, I have everything in order, and yes, I managed not to. Have you packed everything you need?
Got the 2 bags right here, but there's some stuff left at the Hakamichi's home. I can pick that up while we wait for tomorrow evening's flight, though.
Akira gives the 2 large black traveling bags on the floor a hearty pat. She probably came to help pack and make sure everything was in order on Lily's end before going together with her.
Lilly, will you be okay over there?
I'll be alright, I assure you. I'll have Akira looking after me as well, and you know that she's reliable.
What?
Don't worry, Hanako. I have your phone number after all, so we can stay in touch. With Akira's help, I could send you things over the internet as well.
Hey, don't use me just because you want to learn how to use a computer.
Hanako and Lilly both giggle briefly, the mood lightening ever so little.
That goes for you too, though, Hisao. I promise I'll contact you once I'm in Scotland.
I know. I'll be looking forward to it.
I can see a bit of Scottish in you when you're trying to swap over. It's fun.
What?
It's still clearly
There's a tiny bit of
Hisao, but
Scottish.
there was just a slight refrain of Scottish with your A's. Or with your Isles.
Wait, what?
Just the accent carried over, that's all.
It does that from time to time.
Her offer may be kind, but we both know that this is tantamount to breaking up. Neither of us has any illusions as to how well we'd manage a long-distance relationship. With nary a word of prompting, the 4 of us begin the long, solemn walk to the school gate. The numerous lamps scattered around the Yamaka grounds fail to do much more than provide pinpoints of light in an otherwise dense darkness. A car parked on the road just outside the school grounds comes into view, its shining black exterior reflecting the dimly lit lamps of Yamaku. I call out to Akira in an effort to alleviate a bit of the heavy atmosphere.
Reese, are you like moving your head back and forth? Like, I feel like
I'm in one of those, like money machines that throws money all around. I have to try and grab it.
You make it bank while you play. Smart.
The Chuck E. Cheese ticket arcade.
Yeah.
Or ticket fountain.
He's just wheeling around his computer setup.
that your car? What kind is it?
Bad.
Don't know much about cars, do you? It's a Lancer Evo, solid and speedy.
Completely opposite. Well, it's not as if her comment on my knowledge is off the mark. I've never really taken an interest in them. She gives a small sigh.
Alright, go ahead and mark off the Toby Fox
Very clearly
square.
not a car, by the way.
What?
It's that
Lancer
may,
Evo?
Yeah, that may. Oh. I thought you were just making the joke because Lancer drove his bike.
No, I was making the Lancer joke.
And I have marked off Toby Fox in the bingo square.
Who's Toby Fox?
Are you
Tell me why.
gaslighting me right now?
No, genuinely.
Them
Creator
spots
of
were-
Undertale. And Delta.
She's been good to me. Pity I have to part with it tomorrow. Just like the summer house. You guys were the last to visit it before it changed hands.
Turning back from my rather faulty attempt at small talk, I glance at Hanako and Lilly, following behind us. By rights, Hanako should be leading Lilly, but it's rather definitely the other way around as she clings tightly to Lily's arm.
Rather definitely. Okay.
It's a depressing sight. Can't bear to watch.
So, I guess this is it.
Indeed.
Although the time for everyone to say their farewells is now, nobody really wants to take the first step. It's as if the longer nobody speaks, the better the chances of them simply not leaving.
Lily, do you really have to go?
I'm sorry, Hanako. I won't be leaving you forever, though. I can still call you. Hisao will still be here as well.
Reese,
nod.
this is not a comedic moment.
It's the Divine Comedy. You know, it's tragedy and Shakespeare.
I don't think
nod.
that's how the Divine Comedy works, dude.
Yeah, you're a little off the mark there.
Alright, come on, we've gotten through one scene. We need to get through at least
You're right.
all of them.
How many are
More
there?
left.
4, 5,
Oh.
5.
We are so fucked. I nod, but Hanako just clutches all the tighter to Lily's arm. How about clutch faster? After spending so long without anyone to call family, it must be excruciating to say goodbye to the one person that was as close to a mother as anyone could have been in her life.
Notice how little solace Hanako takes in the fact that Hisao will still be here with her.
That's
Oh,
like
don't leave me with
damnation.
him. Take him with you, if anything.
Speaking of the Divine Comedy.
Lily, I'm gonna use this term respectfully. Fuck Hisao.
I'm gonna use
Lily,
this
you don't
term
understand. I
disrespectful.
have these dreams where he's after me instead, and it's awful. I tell you what.
And then we go to a park and we resolve our feelings.
It's the most stereotypical bullshit I've ever seen, Lily. I need you here.
She's turning slowly into Hank Hill.
Oh.
Damn it, Papa. That boy ain't that.
God damn it, Lily.
Guys, it's 9:15 and we have like 4 scenes.
Oh my god. Lily lets out a long, sad breath. All Akira and I can really do is stand by quietly on the sidelines, since the only person that can solve this would be Lily herself. Eventually, Lily pulls her arm from Hanako's grip and holds both of her shoulders gently, a much more decisive way of address than I've ever seen Lily take with her.
Hanako, remember when we first met? When you entered my room for the first time after overhearing my consoling of a wait. Okay. When you entered my room for the first time after overhearing my consoling of a friend, you didn't say a single word for the entire night. Even as I poured you tea and talked, you silently sat and simply listened to what I said. It took many quiet meetings like that before you began to open up to me, but as you began to, I felt some of the happiest moments I've ever felt. I didn't become your friend because I pitied you, Hanako. I became your friend because I knew you were hiding not just from me, but from everyone. Your ambitions, personality, interests, tastes. I didn't know any of them, and neither did anybody else. As you showed yourself to me, though, I began to realize the person that you were, and became sure that our meeting was a very special moment.
But I...
Lily cuts her words short as she brings her hand to Hanako's head and brushes her bangs to the side, gently pressing her lips to Hanako's forehead. As she pulls her head back, leaving Hanako all but speechless and her eyes moist, Lily beams out something.
A wide smile.
Okay.
I believe you are a very beautiful person, Hanako, and I'm certain you will become a strong and confident woman. You are a very dear friend, and someone whom I love very much, just like Hisao. I will never forget you for as long as I live, just for different reasons. I may be leaving. I may be leaving, but you have your own life here to lead. Just as I do, you have your own friends and hobbies, and your own hopes after graduation. I want you to devote yourself to them, even after I'm not around anymore.
Don't be
That is
afraid
why-
to keep on living.
I
Hanako,
am
don't
not
be afraid to walk
to
this
keep
world
on
alone.
living. I am not afraid to walk this world alone.
Oh god.
That is why I think you'll
Well,
be
there's our
okay.
My Chemical reference.
Because you are your own self. With
Sorry
your own
to
life.
everyone who hasn't
You
listened to
yourself proved that to me. By the way, CD, Whiskers and I made like 3 or 4 My Chemical references last stream, and you didn't notice. I was so sad.
that. I didn't remember either. So apparently that was a common trend that stream.
Well, we can go ahead and mark off My Chemical reference on this bingo.
I need to get more clever with them.
Hanako lowers her head in embarrassment, but nods as she does so.
I understand. I know I have to say goodbye. I know you have to go your own way. But thank you, Lily. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Hanako. Will you be okay?
There are a few seconds of silence before the answer comes.
I will. You'll always be my deputy, Lily.
Lily smiles, undoubtedly at least partly in relief.
That makes me very happy then. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Lily.
And farewell to you as well, Hisao.
Sayonara. I'll miss you. Breeze?
She pauses for a moment before walking up to me. Her right hand, outstretched in front of her, takes hold of my shoulder. Her left hand slowly and daintily reaches towards my face, taking my cheek in her palm. For a while, she simply holds my face, her fingers just slightly moving to take in its contours. Usually her hand would be warm when doing such a thing, but the night air has given her skin a cool edge, like its shadow. I'm not sure how long we'll stay like this. Her clouded eyes pointed just below as she wears a wistful, almost distant smile. Eventually, though, I take her cold hand in mine. It's difficult to do so, but with a slight sigh, I gently remove her hand from my cheek.
I hope you have a long and happy life, Lily. No matter where you might go.
Thank you. I'll make sure to.
She takes a long, trembling breath before turning slightly towards Akira's direction.
Akira?
I'm gonna miss you, Lily. You're always my favorite of these 3.
It's just that I feel I've known you my whole life. Man, whatever. With a nod, she takes Lily's. Fuck you! Wait a second.
Oh, you can go in somewhere with that.
I don't quite think so. With a nod, she takes Lily's hand and begins to guide her to the car parked outside the gates. They both walk slowly and deliberately, as if their movements had been rehearsed in advance. It's strange to feel like this now, watching somebody leave Yamaku. The feeling of unease I have now reminds me of the first time I walked through those black, raw iron gates that always looked too far pompous for what they were. As they leave, all of us know full well that our lives are irreversibly changing. I'd always told myself that I just have to take life as it comes, but everything's changing so fast, so suddenly. In the end, Lily's an irrepressible part of the lives of both Hanako and me. The noise of Akira opening the passenger door for Lily brings me out of my thoughts, her hand waving back as Lily gets in.
You guys, take care of yourselves.
Goodbye, Hanako. Goodbye, Hisao.
Hanako's hand quickly shoots up, her face brightened by her enthusiastic farewell.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Lily. Goodbye.
See you, Akira. And goodbye, Lily.
The door shuts as we all put on our best happy farewell faces. Akira getting in the car herself and starting it up in short measure. Lily's hand can just be seen waving through the tinted windows, both of our hands waving high as well.
Concord is a mid-song!
Just as every other time I've done such things, I can't quite work out precisely why I, or Hanako, waved to her given that she'd never see us doing so. But it doesn't matter. Even after that black, shiny car goes down the hill and disappears into the dark night, we carry on waving and seeing Akira and Lily off.
CD, just for clarification, were you saying that's how you write good dialogue to the scene that we just went through, or to you yelling Concord is a mid-song?
Why, both, dear Leo.
And then, they're gone. A strange stillness takes over as our hands return to our sides. I don't quite know what I should do now, what I should do or how I should feel. In the end, we just stand there silently staring down at where the car disappeared from sight.
Goodbye, Lily.
All I can do in response to her quiet, mournful goodbye is to place a hand on her shoulder.
Get the fuck off me, you fucking dickhead. Don't you dare start getting ideas.
So it's like walking down the sidewalk angrily.
What? I was just gonna suggest if you wanted to make out.
Oh,
You always with your fucking goddamn shitty slicker fucking.
Spits. She looks at me for a few moments before looking back down the hill, secure in the knowledge that I'm still around for her. Oh, farewell. Oh, I get it. What we'll do from now doesn't seem all that uncertain. We all have our own ambitions now, just as Lily said. But even so, it feels like there's a certain missing part in both our lives now. Something that could never be replaced. Except... never mind.
I have no fucking clue what's gonna happen now.
Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna die.
I was gonna say 4 more...
What the fuck was that?
Don't worry about it.
I saw something.
The all-seeing eye sees all is all.
False cadence.
The snap of my mobile phone's closing contrasts with the ambient chatter and noise audible even in the hallway outside the library. It's the first day of the summer holidays, a time that had perpetually seemed so far away, and yet it's now not only here, but also made painfully obvious by the students, or lack thereof, left in school. Most students have returned home to spend the holidays with relatives by now. The few that are left are mostly chatting between themselves, usually about what they intend to do in the coming weeks.
My, Hisao. It would appear that you're just a sad song with nothing to say. A lifelong wait for a hospital stay, you could say.
This is My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Damn.
It makes me feel like the odd one out for taking advantage of the school library being open for the first several days of the holidays. Ostensibly, it's for students to drop off any books they've borrowed and have yet to return, and for those who pay their parents to pick them up, to help pass the time until they get whisked away. Thanks to the recent lengthy phone call from my parents, which had so rudely woken me from my sleeping on a beanbag at the back of the library, I'm now in the latter category. Sliding my phone back into my pocket, this time remembering it set to silent. I go back into the quiet and wholly placid room. It's a nostalgic sight, just as when Lily first led me to the library. The orange tint of sunset bathes a room in its light while Hanako sits on a beanbag silently reading, and Yuko fusses, just barely visible behind the counter. Hanako especially has been noticeably more quiet than usual since yesterday's happenings, but I can't really blame her. It wasn't just me that depended on that person after all. I quietly walk back to the beanbag near her where I sat before, being doubly careful.
That person like he's already trying to forget her.
They keep talking about her like she's dying or dead. Really throwing me off.
When the senior graduates in a sports anime.
I quietly walked back to the beanbag near her where I'd sat before, being doubly careful to not make any unnecessary noise. The soft puff it gives as the bag takes my weight makes Hanako's eyes fling towards me, but only for a second.
Wow. That's really weird to look at, because that's from fucking Act 1. That's from Act 0.
I get the feeling that Hanako's been quiet, only partly out of sadness for following Lilly's departure. Rather, she seems more thoughtful and measured than I expected, perhaps due to her desire of working out how to deal with Lily's leaving rather than just being depressed over it. It makes me a little proud of her.
Hisao out here working a sleep reference into the coma theory.
Hey, Hanako.
Yeah?
Still going ahead with your idea of traveling?
She gives a determined nod.
I'll be starting in a day or two. Numi's decided to come with me too.
Wow, quick start. Where are the two you headed first?
I think we're gonna start by heading up north, and then we're gonna loop down and I think go southward.
So, Hokkaido's gonna be first? I mean, Missouri.
She gives another nod, more tentative than the last. The significance of that place is not lost on either of us.
Do you know how you're gonna handle the traveling expenses and
Thank
accommodations?
God they're finally addressing this.
Banditry.
Yeah, I've fuck, wow, I'm like
No,
losing
never
count.
mind. They're not addressing it. They're just writing it out.
I've worked everything out. I think it should be okay. Numi says she has her side worked out too. So it works out.
You know that if you need anything, you can just call, right? I gave you my number before. Any time of the day's fine.
She gives a smile, which in itself feels like a small personal victory.
I bet it fucking does, you piece of shit. I know. Thanks, Hisao.
Maybe Lilly was right. Although I may offer Hanako any help I can possibly give, I feel as if I know she doesn't need it. And she really has grown. Hanako's plans for her holidays are in sharp contrast to my simple following of my parents' suggestion to stay with them. Holidays had always made me feel less excited than most, though, so maybe this is just a return to the status quo. Before my heart attack, I'd always lived so aimlessly that holidays weren't at all that much different from my everyday life anyway. After school, I'd wander around a bit in the city, often hanging out with some friends, before making my way home to eat dinner with usually one of my parents, but rarely both. Their work schedules didn't leave much time for them to be home, and going there straight from school would just have meant that I'd end up feeling bored. I was an urbanite through and through. Since coming to Yamaku, though, it feels I've fundamentally changed as a person. A phone call with my parents erased any traces of doubt I might have held on that. In any case. Well, before I had exercised a fairly normal level of independence for a teenager, that being not a whole lot, my parents were more than pleased to hear of my newfound ability in taking care of myself. Laundry, cooking for myself, cleaning, all in addition to the general chores that come from living without parents around. Just little mental things I've had to pick up, but with relative ease.
Menial.
When I think about it, I'd always depended on them, even if they hadn't been at home all the time. To say I never depended on everyone after moving to Yamaku dormitories would be far from the truth, though.
The Hanako dormitories.
Excuse me.
The two of us look up at the awkwardly fidgeting figure in front of us. Things never change.
Fucking
A lot of alliteration.
Didn't close the music has
What?
believe me or not, I did just say every word. I'm proud of that speed. That was a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, the
It
fact
did
that you
not sound like that at all.
The fact that you can't understand it is a testament to its quality. Oh, right. I'd forgotten that the library closes earlier during the holidays. Hanako and I both get up and dust ourselves off, placing our books back on the shelf behind us. In fact, our tastes in reading material have a fair amount of overlap as useful at times. Is Hanako? I mean, fuck, Yuko! The one for me? Anyways, line. With about a Yuko to apologize for taking so much time, Hanako takes her leave with us.
Hisao is just scavenging. Is she the one?
I'll see you around, partner.
Bye.
Jesus fuck! I finally acknowledge you, and this is the way you respond. It takes a lot to put up with you, Hisao. I mean it. It takes a lot. Just respect that.
She keeps and she's walking away again, like kicking a trash can. And with that, she walks out of the large wooden aging doors that herald the entrance to the library. I suppose I should be surprised at a staff member sharing personal opinions like this. But after knowing Yuko for a while, it's largely expected. Our relationship is more personal, rather than one with her acting as an authority figure.
Yeah, I think that's just how she is. She's got a lot more confidence in herself these days, though.
Okay. Nice. I don't know, it's only stupid, I think I agree. Let's see if talking to people she's never seen it before.
Hey, Yuko. You know about Lily's leaving, right?
She told me stuff a few days ago, must be hard to never found that she is.
She quickly looks back to me after she says this, probably remembering that I went to her for advice on the relationship between Lilly and me before.
Are you gonna be okay?
That's a difficult question. It's something I'd rather not think about for now, though, given more pressing issues.
Something seems off. Something seems kind of off about this whole deal, don't you think?
Yuko appears to think for a while, absent-mindedly scrunching her face up in a variety of creative ways as she does so.
I don't think I really know well enough to like college. Sorry. Sorry, keep you up.
That's fine. I'm just sort of thinking aloud.
I give a deep sigh and scratch my head in frustration.
There's just so much stuff happening at once that I have no control over. Feels like I'm being swamped.
I think everyone goes. Wow, this is a deceptively hard one. I think everyone goes to. It's through. Through is so hard to say. I think everyone goes to the times like that. What's important is concentrate on what you can do, rather than what you can't do, at least associate. If I didn't like that, I think it'd be. If I didn't think like that, it'd be. Wow! If I didn't think like that, I don't think I'd be able to manage my life as it is. If I didn't think like that, I'd be able to manage my life as it is.
She says it with a smile and a light tone, but her words are far from any kind of joke. Being pulled between two jobs as she is, just to hopefully make enough money not to only live, but also for university, must be exhausting. Perhaps that's why, coming from her, this feels like it has more meaning than if it had come from most others.
I guess you've got a point there. Thank you for your advice once again, Yuko.
She bows deeply and smiles again, before making her way back to the counter where she spends so much of her time. The tiny wings of the cardboard crane in my fingers are only just visible in the dim light of my room, just a little moonlight being able to peek through the curtains and around their edges. I lie still in my dark bed for a long time, idly looking up at the little origami bird. It feels like a lot's happened since Lilly folded this, but at the same time, it feels like very little has changed. Compared to everyone else, I'm back to square one. I might have a newfound idea of where I want to go in life, but that's hardly something that affects me now. Hanako changed, I know that much. If anything, she just makes me feel like I've got no excuse to be like this, considering her previous situation. For Lilly, though, I turned the bird in my fingers another way, looking at it from yet another angle. When I first met her, she seemed aloof and perhaps somewhat distant. Her actions were always careful, measured, and precise. and her carefully maintained composure always gave the appearance of unerring confidence and serenity. In time, she became less formal. Just a bit, but enough. It felt good to see her lowering her inhibitions around me, and opening up, even just a little, of her own accord. It felt as if I were seeing her real self slowly become more vibrant and visible. Now, though, I'm beginning to have doubts. Perhaps they're to be expected after what is, effectively, the two of us breaking up. I don't feel new or strange, though, but rather like an old book being found and dusted off. I soon realized after meeting Lilly that she saw me as she did Hanako, as someone who needed help and care. At first, I simply thought that we'd be fine as friends, helping each other through our limited time together in school. But then I began to treasure our moments together more and more. From our quiet walks to our talking over lunch, the good sides of her personality became ever more obvious and ever more likable. The absence caused by Lily's trip to Scotland to visit her long-distance family and sick aunt only made me realize how much I liked being just around her, and I thought that she felt a similar way. For her, though, maybe that wasn't everything to our relationship. Even after she returned to Japan, that just meant she lost her family once again after meeting them for such a brief time. She lived so much of her life without her family around, not to mention with Akira working long hours, that she had little choice but to be like that. I had thought her sense of independence to be a good and an admirable trait. It was in stark difference to my reliance on my parents before my heart attack, as reluctant as I may have been to admit it. However, it also meant that she never let people get close to her. She lost her family, likely due to her blindness, and went to a different school from anybody she knew because of it, and worked all the harder to make sure she didn't end up a burden on her sister and those around her. And now Akira's going to Inverness. It's like the family she thought she'd lost. She never told me of her plans, as conflicted as she was about them. Lily didn't want to be a burden on anyone, including me. I'm an idiot. I never questioned it, never tried to be there or asked when she needed me to. I just set my life up and expected it to stay that way forever, with the two of us having a nice long relationship where we pushed forwards towards our future together. A small pit of frustration and anger at myself wells up in my chest. I just let everything happen, never even trying to help Lily. Just her being there was enough. I thought I could keep going on if that were true. But that could never have been enough. It was a childlike dependence on somebody, without any attempt to understand or help their situation. Thanks to that, I lost Lily, though I lost the one person I loved most because I wasn't there for her when she needed me. With an increasingly angry feeling washing over me, I turn over and set the crane back on the desk next to my clock, the place where it has lived since that day when she folded it for me. Since that day when she herself said that my burdens needn't be my own. The obnoxious bright red numerals of my alarm clock shine through the darkness of the room onto my tired eyes. 10 o'clock, evening. Curfew will be soon.
I wonder.
Akira mentioned they'd be leaving this evening. I have no idea exactly when their flight is, but that means there's a chance, however small, that they may not have already left. Adrenaline starts to move through my body as I sit up on my bed, my eyes suddenly wide with possibility. There's no guarantee they haven't left. Indeed, it's likely that they already have, but there's also a chance that they haven't, however small it may be. Just this once, just as I should have before. I stand up and rush over to my cabinet, throwing out some clothes as fast as I can and sliding them on in quick succession. Each second that goes by is a second that I can't regain, a second that may be the difference between catching them and losing them forever. Even if I fail, I have to try. I can't let her leave everything behind without even trying to stop her, without, just this once, being there for her. With the last of my clothes slipped on, I hastily grabbed the phone off the desk. Luckily, the number for a local taxi company is still in my call history.
Okay, hold on. Nocturne?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Friendship.
A gruff,
I'm gonna go ahead and mark off gets a track name wrong.
A gruff, unenthusiastic voice announces the name of the company while I pace around the room. It takes some effort to slow down my voice and keep it clear over the phone. The chilly night air sweeps against me as I open the dormitory door, but nevertheless I keep up my brisk speed as I half jog, half run up the school gate. It may not be curfew just yet, but it's precariously close. If there were a guard around, they'd no doubt have some questions for me, but it looks like I've managed to come out just before they arrive, or they're around a corner. My pace picks up as I make my way through the school gardens, their nighttime allure all but lost when I begin to run to the school gate. The lamps of the courtyard, dim as they are, provide just enough illumination to light the way and prevent me from tripping over. The buildings themselves take on a rustic, almost antique-looking edge when I glance at them. Looking back, it seems strange that they once appeared so dark and looming to me. Now they just look somewhat anachronistic school buildings, and the same as any bar of the farther age.
Anachronistic apron.
Leaving the school gates behind me, I pull up to a stop just before the taxi, parked just as Akira's car had been. Its gaudy and brightly lit sign looks out of place in the quiet country backdrop. I impatiently squeeze myself through the door, giving the driver the address for where the two should hopefully be staying. By the time the taxi pulls up after its trip at maddeningly casual speed, it's well and truly deep into the night. The house is truly enormous, its sheer size much larger than I'd expected, and ominously still. Fearing the worst, I ask the driver to stay just in case my efforts are for naught. A single press on the fancy intercom system outside the gate produces a short electronic melody in the otherwise silent road. It's not long before a somewhat deep, gruff voice can be heard from it.
What was the voice? This is the Bagamichi residence. Please state your name and why you're bothering us this late.
I press on despite inwardly wincing at the reasonable annoyance audible in his voice.
It's Hisao Nakai. I was hoping to meet Lilly or Akira if they're still here.
Surprisingly, I managed to summon quite some energy to my voice, enough to make the other side of the intercom silent. A few seconds pass, but just before I press the button again and ask what's going on, a light turns on outside the front door. I strain my eyes to try and make out who is coming through, but as he comes past a large parked car with fishing rods sticking out the back, his identity becomes clear. His face is typically placid and emotionless as he saunters up to the gate. He's still childlike in his mannerisms, despite his demeanor. With the press of a few buttons from behind the fence, the gate slowly opens.
It was not Jigoro.
Hisao, what are you doing here?
No, it was Jigoro at first.
Oh.
I think, at the very least.
A gruff voice.
I didn't
yeah,
think so.
Not,
It said
not
gruff voice.
Hideaki.
Oh, okay.
I think this is the most emotion I've ever heard from his voice. Not that it would be hard to reach that mark.
Akira told me that she and Lilly would be staying here before they left for their flight. I need to talk to Lilly. Just one last time. Are they still here?
The look on his face says everything. I failed. I was too late. The one time when I actually needed to act quickly and...
Actually, it's possible.
What is?
The airport, baby! He's a bit taken aback by my fervor, but I can't help it at this point.
They left not too long ago. Only a few minutes before you arrived, in fact. If you go straight to the airport, you might be able to... Hisao!
I dart back towards the waiting taxi, grabbing what little money is left in my pocket as I go.
Thanks, Hideaki.
With that, I take a seat, and in short order, bark out my destination. My chest beats wildly as I tear down the street, my body twisting this way and that, to slip between the pedestrians walking back and forth beside me. With this road solidly blocked by taxis and other cars, dropping off passengers and picking up others in the time they have to wait, ending up having to stop almost a block away. But that's in the past now. What matters is reaching Lilly. One foot hits the ground, the other quickly following without the slightest thought, as if my legs have taken on a life of their own. All my mind can do is concentrate on the view ahead of me. Just one glimpse of that long hair, That long yellow hair that was the same color as the wheat stretched off as far as the eye could see. In the end, I depended on Lilly, just like Hanako did. Even if we started going out, it doesn't feel like she really ever let herself depend on me. Except for one moment. That one moment where we held each other tightly on that bright yellow field. At that time, she must have feared losing me just as she did everyone else. That's why, just this once, the night air wraps around me, draining every last remnant of warmth out of my body, to the extent that it feels more like midwinter than a summer night. My fingers, my hands, my feet, they all feel increasingly cold. The sound of the passing crowds is reduced to no more than a background hum, while the sound of my shoes hitting the pavement echoes loudly, every step surging towards the person I have to catch. Forced by my chest tightening in response to the cold of the night, I rest an arm over to try and settle it down. When the airport comes into view, though, I realize this feeling as one I felt before. Not now. Of all times for this, please not now. Take a gulp and soldier on regardless, pushing my body as far as it will go. Sweat pours off me as I hurtle forward, my shoulder hitting someone else's side, and my mind suddenly flooding with emotions and memories. I continue on without an apology. I have to keep moving now. If I stop, I'm not sure I could begin again. And even if I could, would all be for naught if I'm not in time. I hit another person, then another, offering little resistance to getting bounced about. My feet feel numb. My arms are losing all feeling. My chest forces me to hunch over awkwardly, tightening ever more. That afternoon in the snow, the time when my life irreversibly changed, images of Iwaniko and that damned letter flashed over and over in my mind. The first love I'd lost thanks to my condition. I can't let that happen again. I don't care what happens to me anymore. I just need to see her one last time. There! A sliver of yellow and white comes into view at the distance down the road, her figure silhouetted by the lights emanating from the airport entrance.
Damn, there are so many people here. Like, what the fuck?
It's
This
an
is
airport.
It's a lot. Yeah, like, I don't know what type of airport it is, but man.
At 10
Y'all.
p.m.?
It's the end of the school year.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes complete sense.
At 10 p.m.?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Have y'all never been in an airport this busy?
Not
I
this
mean-
busy. No, look at all the fucking people.
Yeah, I've been in an airport
Actually,
this
the one
busy
near,
before.
TIA will
Whoa.
get that busy sometimes.
TIA will get that busy, yeah.
Lilly! Lilly! Lilly, stop, please! Lilly!
I'm sitting
Come on,
there having
Lilly.
a heart attack.
I know your hearing's far beyond Nor.
Ugh.
Sorry, I just see that. I got too into it. My view suddenly spins out of control and ends up on the ground. My body haphazardly sprawled after hitting someone and stumbling over. Before I can assess the damage, an unbelievable pain ignites my body. All my thoughts are blanked as I curl up and frantically clutch at my chest.
Hey, are you okay? That was a really bad fall.
This pain, I can't. Any sharp knock could do me in. Any overexertion. I thought I could overcome my limits this once.
Something's wrong with him. What's the matter?
The voices of those gathering around me are gradually replaced by a loud ringing in my ears. By now I'm unable to move my head, and my eyes turn upwards to see the mute moving of their lips. Even as I clutch my chest, I realize I can't feel my fingers anymore, nor my feet. It feels like my entire body is shutting down, starting from my extremities. With one last effort, I turn my head down the road towards the airport entrance, back casting its light over me. Lilly is there, behind the crowd. Her head is tilted, but only just slightly. I can feel my vision dimming as I try to yell out, but nothing emerges from my mouth despite my best efforts. Slowly but surely, my vision begins to black out the scene before me. So, this is how it ends. I failed. I was so close, so very close. But at the very last moment, my condition seized my chance at a new life and dragged me back. Now I'm going to die. Sprawled out just meters from an airport, with a crowd of babbling people surrounding me, and with Lilly leaving for Scotland just a little distance ahead.
Well,
The last word extinguishes the last of my energy. The world falls into a deep, inescapable blackness as every muscle in my body shuts down. I'm sorry, Lilly. I was too late.
The bad ending.
Dot 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 dot.
Another unfamiliar ceiling.
There's the Ava reference.
What's going on? As I slowly open my eyes, a bright white light assaults my retinas. For minutes, I just lay where I am, mindlessly staring ahead while my scattered thoughts coalesce in my slowly waking mind. Slowly but surely, the white begins to come into focus as a bare expanse begins to be drawn across my field of vision. It's only when the light fixture comes into view that my mind clicks. This is the ceiling above me. Slowly levering myself up, I silently absorb through all my senses the details of the room I'm in. The smell and taste of strong bleach hang in the air, lending the impression of a place just slightly too clean to be natural. Inoffensive pale peach-colored walls, all perfectly painted without a crack, stain, or imperfection. A single framed painting hangs on the wall, perfectly straightened. Like the walls, it's as boring and inoffensive as can be. My attention's grabbed by the translucent curtain waving across my vision, my eyes following it to the open window as it covers. When I move my right arm to try to lift myself up and look through it, I feel the catheter dig in uncomfortably. It's only now, too, that I notice the cannula tubes winding around my cheeks and into my nose. After some fidgeting, I settle for just looking around the corner of the window. Beyond the thick leaves of several large trees, I can see the greenery below, backing out onto a field, a customary island of green on the outskirts of the city. Judging by the sun outside, it's noon. Of which day, though, I'm not sure. So, I'm in a hospital once again. I let out a long, tired breath as I collect my scattered thoughts, my mind seemingly cast in a dozen directions all at once, with many emotions running through me. After slowly lying back down, I decide to start at the beginning. Why I'm here. I cast my mind back. I can't work out a smooth recollection of what happened. The events of last night, or whichever night it was, come back more as a series of snapshots than any cohesive memory. Lying on my bed, looking at the origami bird. Talking to Hideaki outside the Hakamichi residence. Running down the street, passing pedestrians and bumping into more and more of them. Dying. Looking up at the searingly bright airport entrance, seeing Lilly's back as I lay on the ground. The silence of the private room suddenly feels overwhelming. So that's it. I had my chance to correct my mistake and I blew it. Whether I was at fault for neglecting my medication and disregarding to pace myself, or my body for giving out so soon, it doesn't matter now. All that matters is that, once again, I'm alone. This is really the most My Chemical Romance room.
Oh, come on, well, to this tragic affair.
The pastel blue pillow yields with little resistance as I let myself fall back onto the bed. Its starchy case, along with the starchy sheet, providing little comfort. Compared to the darkness of last night's events, the bright light of the room around me is striking. All it does, though, is emphasize how otherworldly places like this are. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal.
I have to point this out. They are repeating
okay.
the narration
I
that
wondered.
occurs right at the beginning in the hospital scene.
It was a miracle that you were able to go on so long without anything happening, they said. And then it did. My condition had taken away everything. My old school was of no importance anymore. My home was reduced to a faraway place. Both my friends and my first love simply stopped visiting after a length of time.
Some may call it lazy. I agree.
We're using that narration?
Yes.
Nah, that's a very common literary device, actually.
I'm still calling it lazy.
All right, whatever.
I don't care.
I became cynical and embittered, distant and subdued. In my defense, no person could avoid that after such a thing happening to them. But nonetheless, I left the hospital as a very definitely changed person. Things changed. I made new friends in Hanako, Shizune, and Misha. I found a new sense of home in my dormitory, a new interest in science and the world around me, and I found a direction to my life that I had never felt before. But I'd also discovered other things. A sense of isolation in Yamaku and its surroundings was not entirely unwelcome. The quiet giving of peace of mind I might not have found elsewhere, but it gave the area a feeling of being pushed out of the way, of being kept out of sight.
Awesome, CD.
People in the streets would sometimes glance awkwardly, or quickly turn their heads as they realized they were staring. Even if my condition wasn't visible, my uniform was. Even if it weren't, I was still different. I took 17 pills a day, morning, midday, and night. My scar, though hidden from behind clothing, was still a permanent mark of my condition, and most of all, there was the very real possibility of death. A bad fall, an absent-minded hard hit on the back, a simple sprint taken too far. Anything could have set my heart off, and several times I teetered on the edge of the abyss, even with all the care I took of myself. But that was fun. I could have lived with all that, because there was one final thing I'd found, or rather refound, after entering Yamaku, which was once again snatched away before my eyes. It's only now that I realized just how delicate my newfound sense of happiness was. Everything depended on her, the linchpin of my life since I entered Yamaku as a solo-used and aimless transfer student. Lilly Satao was the one person I could depend on above all others, and who reciprocated the love that I felt for her. But I failed her, and only realized it all too late. I thought that I could just set my life up and continue that way forever, but the real world doesn't work like that. I finally realized the meaning of those words, only to be struck down as I confronted my failure to do so in time. The surroundings I'm in are all too familiar. It's as if Yamaku was but a dream. I'm still recovering from my first major heart attack.
And that's why I think the repetition here works.
Maybe that's why I feel so tired. It feels almost as if I'd lived the entire last few months of my life in the space of minutes. The weight of my eyelids closes my eyes. My physical and mental exhaustion, letting me offer no resistance. Unintelligible mumbling from ahead of the bed stirs me out of my sleep. With my eyes still closed, I can focus and make out someone, presumably a nurse, bidding farewell to a doctor. As I open my eyes, I notice the door closing in my peripheral vision. The doctor stands reading some notes off a clipboard held in his hand, carefully looking over the pages. After consulting his obviously very important documents, he looks up and notices my gaze. It's now that I notice something slightly odd about his expression and general disposition, but I can't quite put my finger on it. You're finally awake.
I guess I'll do this again.
You want to or no?
Sure, why not?
CD, real quick. CD, you bringing up that whole I'm bored thing reminds me of a very specific character. And I'm not going to talk about that character right now, but in the future you will understand.
The ring doll's already ready.
Fucking...
Oh, did you not finish that? Sorry.
I didn't start it. You told me to stop.
Fair enough.
I see you awake, Mr. Nakai.
His quick glance to my bed, and to verify my name shows that his documents obviously didn't have it written on them.
I must admit this is a bit unfortunate. Your parents visited just earlier while you were asleep. I could notify them that you're awake now if you'd like.
It's Akira.
Thanks, that'd be good.
I give a somewhat dazed reply, most likely the one he'd expect, before really thinking about what I'm saying.
I didn't think I was giving away that much CD, but yeah, that is who I was talking about.
Not a problem. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, I'll be happy to answer them. That is, unless you prefer to rest. The anesthetic is going to still be affecting you a bit, I'm afraid.
Wait, did they do more surgery?
Yeah.
It's
They had to
certainly
calm his
possible.
heart down and shit at least.
The anesthetic. Of course. That'd be why I felt so strange the first time I woke up. I slowly shake my head, not wanting to dislodge any pipes or cause myself any more discomfort than necessary. The doctor politely puts down his clipboard in response.
I guess my main question is, what exactly happened? To put it simply, you've unfortunately had another heart attack. One not as severe as your first, you were very lucky it occurred so close to a hospital. After being stabilized, you were taken to the operating room. What followed was keyhole surgery in order to insert the temporary pacemaker. All in all, the incident happened 2 days ago, with emergency treatment being carried out very soon afterwards. Since then, we've kept you under close observation while you were asleep. Will I be alright? Are there any lasting problems? Compared to the procedure carried out for your first heart attack, this was relatively minor. While you will have to undergo surgery once more in a few days' time to remove the pacemaker, assuming there are no complications, there should be no lasting implications.
He continues talking, the subject shifting to a repetition of facts about arrhythmia and my medications that I already know for the most part. I start to nod in feign interest while my mind drifts. I begin to think about how perfectly hung the inoffensive painting hanging on the wall behind his shoulder is, and how neat and sterile the surroundings are, even including the doctor himself.
If my mumbling bores you, you are quite welcome to say, Mr. Nakai. Lord knows I lose track of myself sometimes.
He gives a short chuckle at his self-deprecating joke as I grimace awkwardly, having been rather badly caught out. The doctor's chuckle sounds different from that of the nurse at Yamaku, though. Come to think of it, as I pondered why, I realized the man in front of me feels just a little bit off. His smile is neat and sterile. He delivers his little joke perfectly, with a customary inoffensive chuckle. It's like, rather than talking to the man whose name is neatly printed on a name tag pinned to his lab coat, I'm merely interacting with an actor reading off a pre-rehearsed script, every action having been choreographed beforehand. But I suppose he has to be this way, though, being a doctor. He has to keep on his neat, sterile smile while chatting to the girl with cancer slowly spreading through her body, and reassuring the woman who will surely die from childbirth, and with every other terminally and critically ill patient. That little bit of distance, that little bit of aloofness. It makes me wonder if I had been too harsh, especially considering it's a disposition far from being adopted by other people in his profession. After all, the one I loved kept that same distance from others himself. Looking up to the doctor again, I realize I've been in thought with my head bowed for some time.
I understand you must still be tired. You've been through a lot, and as I mentioned before, the anesthetic would still be affecting you. If you don't mind, I'll let you get some rest and tell your parents you've woken up for you. I think that'd be good. Thank you.
He gives a curt nod before picking up his clipboard and making his way to the large white door in the corner of the room, closing it behind him with a thud. In the end, I'm alone again. Lilly's gone, Aki's gone, Hanako would be traveling, and even my parents have already left the hospital. 4 pale peach walls, 1 white ceiling, and 1 single open window to look out towards the world outside. It's hard to think of the future when the past is crowded around you, claustrophobic in its neat, sterile, starchy, bleach-smelling grip. Lost for what to do or focus on, I content myself with sleeping the time away as if this were all just another dream like Yamaku had been.
For a second, I thought that he was gonna have an Abakio moment where, I guess that's spoilers. Never mind.
A what moment?
Good
You
reference.
know when Abakio wakes up and he sees the police officer rooting through glass underneath his table, and then he realizes who it is.
Wait, who?
Have you seen part 5 of JoJo?
I have, but I'm not connecting it to what.
Remember after the scene on the Costa Esmeralda?
What's the Costa Esmeralda?
Oh my fucking god! I'm
The
just gonna put
boat.
it in general.
A boat. Okay, that helps.
That's not a boat.
What?
Oh, is it the plane?
It's the beach that he dies on.
Oh,
White.
Mr. White.
A sterile clean white for a sterile clean room. My eyes open and I simply stare at the ceiling for some time. It's about as interesting as a television would be, mounting its metal rack hanging off the ceiling of the head. Indeed, the television saw its entire use during the time my parents were here, left on quietly as they waited for me to wake. It was about as banal as it had been the first time I ended up in the hospital. Earlier today, an attending nurse had offered to turn off the EKG speakers. I refused simply because the sound is so entirely normal to me now. It's almost comforting in a way. The metronome-like regularity gives at least some feeling that time is moving, even in a place like this. After some time of listening to its beeping while I fully awaken, though, I realize there's another sound in the room. Concentrating all my efforts on listening, a task made rather easy by the lack of distractions, a tiny melody can be heard. Light and quiet, the music sounds almost fragile as it's dwarfed by the EKG's pulses. Tilting my head just slightly to the side in an effort to see the source of the melody without dislodging any of the sensors and pipes stuck onto me. I notice a little wooden box sitting on the nightstand next to the bed. My mouth opens just slightly while I silently watch the tiny little yellow rum slowly rotate inside, the little bumps on its surface gradually moving in and out of sight. This music box, it's the one I gave. The creaking of the door breaks me out of my reverie, my head and heart remaining still as my eyes turn to see who comes through. Long tan skirt, peach off the shoulder sweater, pale, almost porcelain skin, blue clouded eyes, and long yellow hair. All I could do is stare as Lilly slowly walks into the room. Her fingers lightly running over the wall for orientation, and my mind comes to a shuddering halt.
Lilly?
She stops me mid-stride, her entire body tensing.
Hisao, is that you?
Her voice is quiet and pensive, echoing her expression.
I thought you were...
Lilly takes one tentative step forward, then another. It's as if she were holding herself back. Her control over her composure is for naught, though, and she finally rushes over to where I lay as the last of her resistance falls. I'm taken slightly aback as she grabs hold of me, hunching over as tears begin to fall from her cheeks. Since only minutes ago I thought she was on the other side of the world. After a moment of hesitation, I rest my hand on her soft shoulder.
Hisao. Hisao.
Lily's body trembles as her tears blot the pale green sheets, her emotions flooding through her carefully maintained exterior. With her face now closer and made easier to see for her pale skin being lit by the sunlight from the window, I notice her cheeks being redder than they should be.
It's okay, Lilly. I'm okay. You don't need to...
She rights herself quickly, with her crying forcefully stifled and both sadness and stubbornness remaining in her moistened eyes. Her prideful nature, always having been something to contend with, takes me off guard.
Stop telling me not to worry about you, Hisao. Just this once. Let me cry.
I'm caught speechless. She waits for a response, but her composure breaks again after a handful of seconds. I swallow hard to try and settle my own emotions, while she weeps onto my bed, a strange mixture of relief and depression welling up. Lily's here. She's really here. If I couldn't feel her skin under my hand, I'd hardly believe my own eyes. My efforts weren't for nothing. My body's attempt to take away everything that was important to me once again has been foiled. But now, I don't feel as happy about it as I thought I would. Seeing her here, crying like this over me, this one thing I'd wanted to avoid since coming to love her, no, even since leaving the hospital.
I'm sorry, Lilly. It's my fault I'm here. I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far.
Hisao actually has the fluorite stare.
We're having a moment here!
Boom! Death. I give a self-deprecating snort.
No. After months of keeping myself together so nobody'd worry over me, I went and did something like this. I guess I'm pretty dumb.
With a couple of sniffs and a long breath, Lily manages to pull herself together and calm down a little. Despite her red cheeks and moist eyes, and the lines of her tears still visible, she delicately wears that weak smile we so often seem to so often.
You didn't blame yourself. I heard later that it happened as you were running down the road after me, right?
Still.
She wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, returning to her old self as the rush of emotions wears off.
CD, I've just been like glancing back and forth between the English lecture and what's going on screen. Why did you run after me, Hisao?
I move to respond, but notice her face tightening.
Even after I'd said goodbye, and I'd left Yamaku Academy.
She takes a moment to steady herself, her emotions almost bubbling up once again.
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
Sorry?
For the times when I wasn't there when you needed me. Until now, I thought you just being there would be enough. I only needed you by my side to make any day feel better.
By my side.
Even if my body may be like this, I want to help you, Lilly. To be there when you need someone.
But you always were there, Hisao.
Why did you want to go to Scotland, Lilly?
Why? I told you before. Because Akira was going. And because of my family's summons to their home.
Why didn't you say that you wanted to go? I'm not stubborn often, but this one time I think I need to be. I want you to stay here, Lilly. I want you to stay where everyone you know lives, and where all your dreams and ambitions were made. If you choose to stay, I'll never leave your side. I won't let you lose another person. When I had my heart attack, I was snatched away from everyone and everywhere I knew. You showed me a new life after I came to Yamaku. I had lost my past, but you showed me a future. True that I haven't always been there for you. I'm unreliable. Sometimes I lied and thought I'd come to understand you when I haven't even understood myself. Be that as it may, I want to give you a future as well. I want to be there for you, to share both your burdens and your happiness, just like I promised back in Hokkaido. I want you to trust me. I know I had problems coming to put my trust in you, after losing so many people I'd known after my heart attack, but that's how I know that being unable to trust others can feel awful. That's why I can't want you to throw everything away like this. I never want you to go through what I did. I would do anything to stop that.
You can be quite steadfast when you want to be, can't you?
I said it. It isn't often.
My weak smile drops, though As the IV in my arm digs in a little, it's a harsh reminder of my tether to my condition. Lily's face tenses as I let out a small gasp of pain, immediately making me wish I'd stifled better. All I can do is sigh in defeat.
I tried not to not let anyone worry over me for the entire time since I left the hospital. But I can't even stop the one person I love most from crying over me. Even if I might finally be able to put my feelings into words, I feel pretty useless with a body like this. Every time I tried to reach towards something, it was just snatched away. And even now, things only turned out for the better due to luck. I guess that's something else I should apologize for. All I can ever do is make you worry. Even now, there's a very little chance I'll live anywhere near a full life.
The feeling of Lily's warm, soft hand moving over my left cheek makes me lift my head up, her smile gentle and warm as she touches me.
I think that is something very natural for you to say. Always so sincere and self-conscious. You're also reserved and mild-mannered. A patient to a fault with Hanako. Yet curious about everything and everyone. When I said I missed you while I was with my family, I wasn't lying or exaggerating. The thought of you was never far from my mind. It helped me through that time. That's why I was so confused about what to do when my family summoned me. Even after I thought I'd made my decision, you tried your hardest to challenge me about it. I didn't confess to you out of pity or believing you were somehow different from what you are. I confessed because I never want to lose you, and want you to always be a part of my life, no matter what might change. You're a very beautiful person, Hisao. Your heart changes none of that, so please, don't apologize for yourself anymore.
For a long time, silence reigns in the room. I'm not really sure what this newly born feeling inside of me is, but it pales into insignificance as I wordlessly gaze at Lily's smiling face, warm and gentle as it has always been. It's only as her thumb crosses my cheek, wiping away a single drop of moisture, that I realize this is all I've ever wanted. For what feels like the first time, I give an earnest, wide smile. As Lily feels it against her palm, she returns the gesture. More time passes before either of us says a word, neither of us needing speech to communicate our feelings to each other.
I know I can't promise you that I'll always be around, or that we'll be together forever.
With some difficulty, I slowly lift my hand, placing it on her pale shoulder.
But I think I can at least take you to next year's... Fuck, what did you call it?
You're just gonna have to try and guess, or die, I guess.
There's a lot of goos in there.
Yeah. That's your only guess.
Kumamagu?
Nope, die.
Googa googa.
Chukumugu.
Chukumugu,
To
I think
next-
that was close.
Googa
To next year's Tukamagu Festival, to make up for you missing this year's.
Lily's expression is one of surprise, though I can't say I blame her.
You remembered that?
I've got a pretty good memory sometimes.
She raises her head a little and takes her hand from my cheek, giving a small amused giggle. I smile absent-mindedly at how earnest it is, almost girlish in its lightness. Still smiling warmly, she collects herself and stands upright with a hand resting on my chest. It feels like I'm seeing her for the first time. The sun from the window glowing behind her just as it did when I first walked into the room where she was drinking tea.
Very well then. Shall we make it a promise between the both of us to go to next year's?
Go on.
I already forgot.
There's a couple of goos in there.
Uh,
Kataguba.
As always, there's no way we can go on an entire scene without something fucking happening. I've been muted this
I
whole
blame-
time to avoid one of these.
I blame Breeze.
What did he say?
Tukamagoo.
Tukamagoo? Tukamagoo. Between the both of us to go to next year's Tukamagoo together.
Lily, what the fuck is Chukamagoo? Even if she can't see me doing so, I nod approvingly.
I promise.
I promise.
Oh, no way. We made it.
Wait, that's it? We did it?
Okay, no, Leo, am I allowed to spoil?
Just keep it quiet for a second.
Was this the neutral ending?
No, this is the good ending.
Oh, okay. Woo. You had me worried for a second there, Jack. I mean, Kane.
Huh?
Who are you? What's your real name?
What's your real name?
I'm a
resident
man of
of
many.
123 New Mexico Lane or whatever the Breaking Bad address is.
This is most definitely. Ah, there she is. There's old Lily. This is most
I know that
definitely
the street is Negro Arroyo.
the best.
308
The
Negro
best point
Royal
to
Lane.
end on. I agree. After all this,
What's up?
this is that you were right in having this be our final route. I think this is
Yeah.
the most fitting for a final
Yeah.
route.
Definitely. This was a good one. I liked it.
This was I actually much preferred the order we played these in this time than I did the one my first time.
Dang.
Oh.
Straight back. Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Wait, what is
Did
it?
they ever do this for
After
any
credit
other
scene?
one?
This is the
It's
only
the
after
only
credit scene
way-
in the entire game.
They gave Lily
Epilogue
a
jump
lot
scare?
of things.
I don't know what the fuck's in this. I just know I got spoiled wiki diving.
But wow, wow.
Wow, wow.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Akira, Lily, and I silently sit on the grassy embankment high above the local town, the breeze gently blowing through the cloudless sky. We may just be a few minutes' walk from town, on a hill slightly just outside its limits, but the view is entirely unexpected. Lily sits beside me, her eyes closed as gentle breeze flows through her hair.
This is a nice area.
Yeah, I never knew a place like this was anywhere near Yamaku. And I had to be the one to find it, of course.
Akira's grin is genuine, but her tone is slightly different from her usual carefree nature.
It's good that you're at the hospital, though, Hisao. Nobody's more glad than I am. I can't stand hospitals. So, you two going back to school tomorrow? Yep.
Akira chuckles in amusement before looking back out to the town below, the trees between the buildings swaying in the wind.
Pity we couldn't go up north for the summer holidays, or get to Tanabata.
I wouldn't worry. There's always next time.
You'll be graduating before the next summer vacation, won't you? Yeah, there'll still be college after that, mind. Going to the same one?
Likely. We both have high enough scores to meet the entry requirements.
You sound so sure.
Don't worry. You're better than I in most subjects.
I guess we'll work it out in due time. That's the way. Just enjoy yourselves in Yamaku while you're there.
Lily gives a sad sigh at the distinction made between Akira and the two of us.
Do you really need to go back to Scotland? Mirak?
Sorry. Yeah, the folks are already out for my blood as is. You weren't meant to stay this long.
She gives her trademark wide grin.
Setting my boyfriend up with a passport took some time. You're taking him with you? Just for a while at first. He's a surprisingly worldly guy, so I think he'll do just fine.
Akira gives an amused snort.
If our father had his way, Gesundheit. I'd have gone a while ago. I just couldn't pass up an excuse to stay with my favorite little sister for a while longer, though.
She leans right and gives Lily a tight, playful hug, cheering her up considerably.
It's nice to be with you one last time, though.
For what it's worth, I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Thanks, you two. I'll try and come back sometime, don't worry.
It's a shame that the business keeps you so busy.
The place won't run itself, I'm afraid, and I think it's gonna be just the same over there. Considering that, I'd better get going. Have fun over there, Akira. Will do.
With a slight grunt, she lifts herself with her hands and stands up, dusting herself off as she does so.
Well, I'd better be off. The plane won't wait for me after all.
She has a certain unusual wistfulness in her tone of voice, her eyes firmly planted on her sister.
I'll be okay, Akira.
Yeah, I know.
Come now, it isn't that bad. You'll be able to see us again soon.
It is strange to have Lily reassuring a doubting Akira for once. He really has changed.
Goodbye, Akira.
Bye.
For a second, the dark-clad figure looks down at the both of us, smiling widely, perhaps more widely than I've ever seen her do before. She puts out a long, slightly wavering breath to steady herself before leaving, but eventually slips her hand in her pocket and turns on her heels. And with that, she walks away, one hand held in the air as she goes.
See you later, you two.
A jazz tune with no beat, melody or direction to the very end. After a few moments of sitting silently, Lily and I pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off. Turning towards her with a broad smile, I hold out my hand.
Shall we be off then?
She takes my hand in hers with a gentle nod and a smile as beautiful and warm as ever.
Indeed we shall, Hisao.
We set off towards the school. That wonderful smile engraved itself onto my memory. That wonderful smile that we both share. Our paths may be scattered and at times overshadowed by sadness, but they're also an irrevocable part of our life.
Irrevocable.
Irrevocable.
Irrevocably.
Irrevocable?
Irrevocable.
Oh, I think that's right, yeah.
Like revoke.
Yeah, irrevocable, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Irrevocable part of our lives and personality. Even if I could change a single thing, I wouldn't, because my past was what led me here.
Irrevocably.
That's why, even with all that's happened to us before, and all that may well befall us, together, we'll keep walking forward. Forward. Towards the future. Our future.
The future. The future. Oh. Well,
Holy crap, that's it.
we're not done yet, but we're getting
I mean,
there.
yeah, that's not it, but
That's all 5 routes. It only took us, what, a year and a half?
yeah, you know,
10 months.
no time at all.
I counted.
No.
I think, yeah, because we started early July of last year. And to be honest, with the sort of wrapping it up streams that we'll do for the bad endings, July 5th, because of course CD remembers. By the end, it'll probably be closer to 11 months after we do the bad ending stream. But yeah, that's Katawa Shoujo.
That's nice.
So
I don't know what to say.
I think my opinion on Lily's route improved a little bit upon the replay.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'd say this playthrough at the very least, my two favorites were Lilly and Rins. I would probably go it's weird because I'd say this playthrough my favorites were Rin, Lilly, Shizune, Emi, and then Hanako. Which is
Wow.
even funnier when you consider that my original ranking was Hanako, Rin, Lilly, Emi, Shizune.
This is the first route since when Rins where we've taken an ending seriously. The beginning.
Respect where
and the
respect is
end.
due.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And of course, we also had the one infamous moment in each of the two ending scenes. The dandelion,
dandelion.
and the fuck, I already forgot.
Tukamagoo.
I told
that
you
even
guys
it?
I would be the first one to mess it up.
But you weren't.
Oh wait,
you
no,
weren't,
I
Lex.
wasn't. Ha! I was the first one to mess it up twice, though.
Eh.
I was the only one to get 2 chances, though, so...
I think I don't think it's gonna dawn on me that we're done until we go like 3 weeks with no Katawa Shoujo.
Well, we're not done. We still
We
have so
are
much
actually
I know.
not done. So, I was thinking we'll probably just go back through in the same route order and do the other endings, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
I still haven't read Rin's neutral or bad endings, though I know exactly what happens in the neutral ending. I
Interesting.
just haven't read it.
I'm scared.
I
If we go to
without
extras,
spoilers.
and then if you go to library...
Rin's neutral route is generally considered leagues worse than her bad route in
What?
terms of making you sad, not in terms of writing.
Okay.
Well, okay. We also, on Hanako's route specifically, have an extra scene that we could do.
Oh, but is it like in the same route as Rin's, where it's just like a line of dialogue with someone?
No. If you look on screen, it's an actual, completely alternate scene.
Oh,
Like,
what the
there
fuck?
are two...
Damn.
There's one choice where you'll get 2 different scenes depending on what you pick.
Dude, no! Fuck!
Oh, are you...
I just noticed my pants are ripping.
No.
At the leg, luckily. I could staple it and not a soul would ever notice. Or sew it, but I'm lazy. But fuck, this is my best pair of pants. That's annoying.
Oh my god. I have this pair of, like, khaki pants. And they're, like, one of the few pairs of pants. I know the CG you're talking about. I definitely do, CD. I have, I think, a total of 2 pants that actually properly fit me. Because I have really weird proportions on my legs, specifically. And so I have 2 pairs of pants that actually fit me in any decent way. And on one of them, on one of them, they're just I say fit. When I say they fit me, I mean they fit me mostly. And so this one pair of pants I have, it fits me in the waist, but it's just a bit long. And so when I walk, I often end up stepping on the back fabric. And so I took a look at it a few weeks back, and I noticed that there's just a bunch of frayed fabric on the hem of the pants. And I was quite sad. I still wear them though. They're not unusable, but it was kind of disheartening.
Yeah. Alright, this is inconvenient, but I have to go.
Oh, in that case,
Yeah, we're
Kane, can
running
you
late.
send me your schedule for the rest of the week if
I
there's
will.
any availability?
I
we have not-
shall. I'll let you know.
It's been like 3 weeks since we've been able to do a Calamity session, so...
Yeah. Sadly, that
Right.
might continue just because
Meh.
I have to deal with school, work, and moving this week. So I'm not
Yeah,
quite
don't
sure how
worry
much
about
free
it,
time
Kane.
I'll
Yeah,
have.
if you
But
don't
I
have
will
the
let you
time,
know.
that's fine. It's just I would like to know what the schedule is, just in case we can work
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah. I will leave you all to converse.
All right.
Go
Actually,
run.
before I go,
Have fun.
Good night.
character-wise, Rin,
Oh.
Shizune. Fuck, this is where it gets hard.
See, I would
Really?
do basically the reverse. I would do Shizune Rin for top 2.
Rin, Shizune.
Shout out to Misha.
if Misha counts as a character, Misha in third.
Ooh, she does, of course.
Damn. Emmy, then Lily. Character-wise.
You didn't even rank Hanako.
Fuck. Oh, that's why it was hard. Hanako. I don't know where to put her because I love my version of Hanako, but I don't know how I feel about actual Hanako.
As I've said before, I think our interpretation of Hanako was a little off kilter just because of how we played it.
Normal Hanako. Okay, Hanako's going to be split into 3. Cowboy Hanako is above Misha, but yeah, Cowboy Hanako is above Misha. Normal Hanako is last place. Hanako on other people's routes is above Emmy.
Nice. Yeah, I've always ranked, when I do visual novels, I usually rank characters and routes separately, because oftentimes it doesn't line up for me.
Yeah. Route-wise, Rin, this is actually really hard, route-wise.
Meh.
Because I like Shizune as a character a lot, but I think her route is kind of the most... No. I put Shizune in second place as well. For various reasons. Mostly because I love the way it expands on other characters way more when it comes to shit.
I would
like
say,
Nico.
and again, I thought Shizune's route was the worst the first time I played it, but it's now pretty firmly in third for me.
It's just different. It's more a slice of life than anything.
There are some. I think it has some stumbling blocks in the middle. But even those stumbling blocks weren't quite as severe this time I played it. I kind of feel like I just had Katawa Shoujo fatigue when I played Shizune's route the first time. I think that might be a big part of the problem.
Katawa Shoujo fatigue.
Anyways, it gets really easy from here on out. Lily, Emmy, Hanako.
Damn.
Yeah, yours is really similar to mine, with the exception of the fact that we switched Shizune and Lily's.
Yeah, I think Shizune's, I really like it for all its little things. I'm not going to get into Rin. I don't need to get into Rin. It's pretty self-explanatory at this point.
Rin good.
Emmy's was way better than I thought it would be. However, it doesn't necessarily do anything stand out in any way.
That is exactly how I feel about Emmy's. Emmy's is just Emmy's is a nice route. It's not necessarily breaking any ground, but it's just a really good sort of palate cleanser with how the rest of the game is structured.
Exactly.
I like how Remy Emmy stickers are all her running.
Yeah, I mean, that's her entire personality.
For good reason.
Lily and Hanako's stories are like almost the exact same thing in their level of stereotypicalness. They're just classic love stories, except Hisao is such a piece of shit that it kind of drastically shapes the feel of both of them individually to where they feel completely different. To the point where Hisao actively ruins Hanako's arc for various reasons, including but not limited to non-consensual sex. That's
dubiously consensual.
Yeah, dubiously consensual.
It was funny because that route I was playing of Magikoi earlier had a even more dubiously consensual sex scene. Actually, no, that was just flat out non-consensual.
Damn.
I was really disappointed because everything before and everything after that one scene has been really good, but my entire memory of the route has been tainted by that one scene.
Yeah. It's interesting how much just a protagonist how do I put this in the proper words? It is interesting how much Hisao affects the story. Like, obviously, he's just a character. He's a protagonist. He's the protagonist. Like, that makes sense. However, it's this way of, like, the change
I think
in how
the interesting thing is that most
change the feel.
Most visual novel protagonists are designed to be as unintrusive into the narrative as possible. And Hisao, while seeming like he was designed that way, ends up functioning more like a major impediment to some routes.
Yep, exactly. Anyways, that's my thoughts. I hope you all give your own thoughts. And if you do have thoughts to give, please leave them in general or Leo's Den so I can read them later, because I love listening to people talk about this series. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Ciao,
Peace.
Kane.
Good night.
And
Anyone else
I
have
have
any?
no thoughts.
No thoughts. Head empty.
My thoughts
I'm
is,
tired.
Lily was better than Emmy. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
No, we agree.
Lose from the- Yeah.
Oh, we
no,
do?
For sure.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
we were
okay,
just saying
cool.
she wasn't better than Rin.
Rin
well, yeah,
best,
but that's not
Lily
even an
next.
argument.
Shizune after that.
I'll say it. I'll say it. Misha Shizune route better than Rin route.
Oh,
Alright.
I liked how carefree it was. The slice of life thing I think really worked out.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
that's
I could totally, having replayed Shizune's route, I could totally understand why someone would rank it above other routes, just depending on their personal preferences. But I am surprised that you specifically feel that way.
I don't know. I just there's something about like the slice of life, and then it's like then you see all the underlying stuff, and then it kind of recontextualizes
Yeah.
how they interact and Misha and everything. I was like,
No, as
that works out
I've
quite
said,
nicely.
yeah, as I've said,
Yeah.
there's a reason that I keep having Shizune as my PFP. I love Shizune as a character. I don't think her route quite measures up to Lily and Rin's, but I love Shizune as a character.
As a route or as characters, though.
Well, as I said earlier, I always rank characters and routes differently. Because very often I'll like an individual character. Like a great example of that is Fruit of Grisaya. I think of the 5 main characters in Fruit of Grisaya, I'd say Machina is probably my least favorite, but I think her route is really, really good.
I don't know anything about that.
You don't have to. It's just I'm sort of giving another anecdote here. It's just
Okay.
it's sometimes I'm not as enthused about a character, but the contextualization of them through the story of their route makes the route really good. Even though
Got it.
Even though I'm not as big of a fan of their character specifically. And so I'll have to give it some more thought, but as I gave my rankings for each individual playthrough earlier, but I kind of want to make a ranking of each route in each playthrough all combined, and then maybe a separate character ranking. I think Shizune's still at the top of that ranking, though. I know Shizune's still at the top of that ranking. I love Shizune. Don't at me.
I love Shizune. Well, yeah. I liked Lily's route, though. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Probably... I don't know. I'm kind of, honestly, forgetting a lot of Rin's route.
To be fair, though, it has been a long time since we played it.
It truly has. And so, maybe if coming right off Rin's route, I don't know how I feel, but I remember Artka.
Oh, wait, I'm not sure you were here for most of Rin's route.
That's
Actually,
what I'm also
I think you were gone for the ending of Rin's route.
Really?
Oh,
Maybe not maybe it wasn't the end.
Right?
I know you were gone for like at least half of Rin's route though. Like cuz back then none of us were quite as invested in Katawa Shoujo as a series.
Gotcha.
And so like I wasn't even trying to get everyone on at the same time.
That's right.
I think you might have been in the final session, but I don't think you were A, as checked in, and B, I don't think you attended all. I'm pretty sure you didn't attend a fair number of the sessions in Rin's route.
Sounds about right. So, maybe that's skewing my judgment a little. Who knows?
I'm actually curious. CD, do you remember if Priest was around for the end of Rin's route? We're gonna have to wait for a response on that for a second.
I feel as though he was, and I can probably check real quickly, but...
Okay, this is completely off topic.
Oh, you're
but
right,
now-
CD. 2 people ended up leaving in the middle of the first stream. Kane wasn't even there for the ending. I think Kane and Whiskers left, maybe.
God, how
Left?
far we've come.
And remember, maybe you didn't. It was who was the other one who left? I can't. CD can't even remember if Priest was there.
I'll have to go back and.
It might have been something like you were there, but you weren't super checked in, or something like that.
If I had to guess, I mean that makes sense.
Oh god.
Why Act 1 gotta be so slow?
Guys, do you remember
Isn't it
we had that competition in chat on the first stream? Because Kane was doing the ... dots and then Kane left. And so Whiskers, Crispy Forks, and CD all would try to race to type in the ... in chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I am actually gonna start. I keep saying this, but I am gonna start editing the early Katawa Shoujo streams into something for the main channel sooner or later.
Best bits.
And it'll also allow me to pick out some more clips for the Arcturus Archives channel, because CD is only one person and only clips so many things, and as such, I just don't have a very big clipping community, as I guess the way I'll put it, because the sort of the end result is that I don't I'm gonna run at the current rate at which I'm editing clips into YouTube Shorts. I'm gonna run out eventually, and not even eventually, relatively quickly. I can't. We're not really producing clips as a community fast enough, so I'm gonna have to start going back and oh, CD just sent me something. Oh, thanks, CD. I will definitely take back a look at those. I'll definitely take a look at those again. Do I have the Love is Blind stream 33 and not 38? Did we name 2 streams Love is Blind? Are we?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are we really dumb?
No.
Are we? No.
Wait, actually, we are dumb.
No, CD said Love is Blind stream 33, not 38, and I need to go check this out real quick.
33 Love is Blind?
And 38 Love is...
How did we mess that up?
How the fuck did we do that? Oh, shit!
Wait, isn't that the wrong title?
For what? Oh my god! I remember now! Because stream 33 was the one... No, that wasn't the one. Never mind. Why did we call... What the fuck?
Is that the right title? For stream 37?
Yeah, no, it is. That was... That's definitely the right title. I just
We just named both of them Love is Blind?
Fuck! I might change it to Love is Blind Reprise as an attempt to cover my ass for that incredible blunder.
Reprise.
No, that's absolutely what we're gonna name it. Love is Blind Reprise. Hold on, I'm totally fucking doing that now. Love is Blind Reprise. It's gonna be so fucking out of context for anyone who doesn't understand. I need to Capri see this. Yep, there it is. Love is Blind Reprise.
He's genius.
Truly my genius. Sometimes it's frightening. But yeah, that I think does anybody else have anything else they want to say?
I don't think so, no.
George Bush is my rabbi.
What?
I was trying to think of something funny. I think.
What did you just say?
George Bush is his rabbi.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
god.
a good one.
Okay. Well, anyways, I suppose that marks the end of Katawa Shoujo proper. The awful auto-generated thumbnail. Yeah, Twitch has been doing me dirty lately. Thank you all so much for watching. It has been an incredible journey. We still have a little bit left to go, but this is the end of Katawa Shoujo proper. For now, it's just going to be tying up loose ends. And so I want to thank you, especially CD, so much for being here throughout this entire journey. I think you missed,
thank you,
exactly one Katawa Shoujo stream in total. And so, yeah, I wanted to thank you so much for that. It's been a great journey so far, and I'm excited to see the ending. So, for now, I'm peacing out. Ciao.